think he's check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Pull your mic a little bit closer.
Mic check 1 2.
Gotcha.
1 2 1 2.
Now, guys.
Can you find D?
No lightning delay.
What?
Bryant is in a lightning delay.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we were.
I'm not sure what it
Is there like a real rain jacket? Just this cute little punch thing.
is. Yeah, I don't have.
Hey, how are you? You having a good week?
Test 1 2 1 2. Yeah, we're not. Football greetings from a rainy, dreary Cyclone Stadium in Russellville. It is time for Benton Panther football. Tonight it's the 6A West Conference opener as the Benton Panthers, fresh off a thrilling 56-41 win over Cabot, pay a visit to the Russellville Cyclones, 31-0 winners last week at Alma. Both teams come into tonight's contest with identical 2-1 records. I'm Jim Gardner, joined on the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show by Terry Benham. We are missing our good buddy tonight, Terry John Penn, who has stayed back home in Benton recovering from a bump and bruise. He's selling a house. He's building a house. It's corporate tax season. We're missing John tonight.
Well, we sure are, but it sounds like he's got plenty on his plate for the night. And actually, considering the weather, he may be the smartest of all of us.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be green with envy of John about 10 o'clock tonight. Dio Vanucci is here, and he is going to be roaming the sidelines, braving the elements tonight, and he will be joined by the number one fan of the Benton Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt. Tonight's broadcast of Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6 is brought to you by the Benton Panther Football Network. Panther football is presented by Everett Buick GMC and sponsored by Black Corley Owens and Hughes, Bethel Smiles Dentistry, Jones Heating and Air, Cornerstone Home Lending, the Terry Benham for Mayor campaign, Farmers Bank and Trust, ACDI, the Jerry Ponder for Mayor campaign, CDI Contractors, Allied Glass, Smith Caldwell Pharmacy, Benton Eye Care and Dr. Brian Armstrong, Saline Memorial Hospital, Congo Fireplace and Patio, the City of Benton, First Security Bank, the Kim Hammer for Senate campaign, Ashby Funeral Home, Baptist Health Clinic of Bryant, Dr. Michael Pafford and the internal medicine team at Saline Memorial Hospital, Alpha Gorilla Off-Road Fabrication and Parts, and Hamilton Family Dentistry. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you by the Benton Touchdown Club, the official booster club of Benton Panther football. You can visit BentonPantherFootball.com to become a Touchdown Club member for team news, schedules, videos, pictures, and so much more. And Terry, man, Freddie and I nicknamed the box last night at Lake Hamilton the Wasp Nest because we were fighting wasps all night. Tonight we're in the broom closet here at Russellville.
Boy, it is. It's a small space. I think John would be happy because we're all great friends, but we'd be really good friends at the end of this broadcast.
It is continuing to rain. It has been raining very hard here in Russellville since about 4 o'clock. There was lightning in the area when the front initially came through, but we haven't seen any lightning, knock on wood, for about 90 minutes now.
Yeah, everybody's keeping a close eye on the weather, and we haven't seen any lightning. However, the forecast is for about 2 more hours of this driving rain, and so it's very clear that it's going to be a very wet stadium, and that is certainly going to be playing into the game plans of both of these teams.
It's going to be a huge factor in tonight's contest, which is the 51st meeting all time between Benton and Russellville. That ties Russellville with Malvern for the second most all-time games played against by the Benton Panthers. Benton leads the series 26-20. There have been 4 ties. Benton won last year 42-20 at home in a game in which Gavin Wells, in relief of an injured Colin Morrow, made a very, very memorable impression, Terry.
Well, it was his coming out party, and that was the game that he just had to figure it out because he hadn't even taken any snaps in practice. And so they literally were making it up on the field. It was old sandlot football, and Gavin really delivered. And
I believe Bo Brewer had 5 touchdowns rushing in that game last year. And the Panthers scored on 6 straight possessions to win at 42-20. First time these two teams played was way back in 1925. I think Jim Landers called that game, and Benton won it 24-0.
You know, it was at this stadium that I saw another running back named Wallace. And Wallace Foote put on quite an offensive show, one of the greatest football performances I've ever seen at any level of football. And you may remember the actual stats, Jim, but I think he was approaching somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 yards total offense by himself.
That is correct.
It was a fantastic game. Benton comes in with a less than stellar season, but made the playoffs anyways, and comes in and pulls a shocker, scoring 50-something points. It was a fantastic game to call.
Yeah, Mickey Duval, the radio man for Russellville, was asking me before we went on air, what is it about Benton and running backs named Wallace? Wallace Foote, Zach Wallace, the immediate past. Let's talk about some standouts last week in the 56-41 win over Cabot. And before we get to Zach Wallace, how about the PDC forcing 4 turnovers that led to 28 points? Kyvan Carroll with 19 tackles last week.
Man.
And Caleb Kaufman, who was our player of the game in the postgame, 13 tackles. Trey Maxwell playing defensive end last week, 8 tackles and 2 forced fumbles.
Well, we were so impressed with Caleb Kaufman's breakout performance that we kind of missed an amazing night by Kyvan Carroll. I mean, 19 tackles and also a critical forced fumble. That's one of the big reasons that Benton played so well and were so dominant on defense, and that's another reason why these D1 programs are calling, and Kyvan already committed to Fresno State.
Colin Morrow had a very efficient night at quarterback, 17 of 25 passing for 233 yards, 6 touchdowns passing for Colin. And then the Thunder and Lightning duo of Zach Wallace and DeAnthony Harper combined for over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Well, Zach's an impact player whenever he's in the game, and everyone knows that. But, you know, when you think about his backup having the ability to come out and have a 4-carry night for 178 yards, I mean, that has to keep defensive coordinators up at night, Jim.
It was a memorable night as the Panthers were able to postpone history. Mike Malham, the coach for Cabot, goes for win number 300 tonight against his alma mater, the Little Rock Catholic Rockets. We'll take our first commercial break, and when we come back, Dio Vanucci will visit with Brad Harris. This is Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
ACDI is Benton proud. We have a long history of community involvement and activism in Benton and the Saline County area. It's why we're excited to be relocating our business here and building our new headquarters in the downtown area. We're proud to sponsor the Benton Touchdown Club. Go Panthers!
Allied Glass is a full-service glass shop located in historic downtown Benton. Allied Glass is a third-generation business and family-owned and operated since 1967. Mirrors, shower doors, commercial storefronts, auto glass repair and replacement, tabletops, screens, plexiglass, and much more. For all your glass needs. Call Allied Glass at 501-778-6244. Located at 115 East Sevier in downtown Benton.
Ashby Funeral Home has been family owned and operated, serving Benton and Saline County since 1882. Through 5 generations, Ashby Funeral Home has cared for families through compassionate and professional service. Ashby's provides all types of services for families in times of loss and grief. Their aim is to treat every family as they would treat their own. Ashby Funeral Home is located at 108 West Narrowway Street in Benton, and their phone number is 501-778-2544. Ashby Funeral Home, proud supporters of Benton Panther football.
If it's Friday night, it's Panther football and hometown traditions. Benton is much better off than we were 8 years ago. We can't afford to go backwards. Hi, I'm Terry Benham, and I'm running for mayor of Benton. For 20 years, I've been a leader in business and public policy. And for the last 8 years, I've been leading successful local initiatives. We've accomplished a lot, but it's only the beginning. Join our campaign for Benton's future. Let's do something special together. Paid for by Benham for Benton.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Evanucci here with head coach Brad Harris. What a game last Friday against Cabot. Prevented Malham from getting his 300th win. We're going to let that happen in our house. But now we're going to travel to Russellville, the team that we beat last year here at home. But, Russellville's a different team this year. This is the second year for their coach. Tell us what we're going to see out of the Russellville offense.
Well, Russellville offensively, they've got a good quarterback. The Atkins kid is back. He played against us last year at Q, but then they moved him to receiver. So he's their quarterback again his senior year. He's a 6'3", 6'4", long, rangy kid. He's kind of like Matt Jones was for the Razorbacks. He's long and he runs faster than what you think he does because he is so long. Scrambles around a lot, throws the football. The offense kind of runs through him. Last week he threw for about a little over 300 yards against Alma. They throw the ball 40-something times, So they really feel confident in him. They've got some real solid receivers. You don't see a guy out there that you got to really go, wow, you got to take care of him. They got just good receivers, The running back is a solid running back. He's a move in from Pottsville. Was by far their best player over there from what we hear. He's a 190-pound running back, so you got a big back. One question mark, I think, is their offensive line play, not quite as good. So I think they struggle a little bit there. So we're hoping we can cause some pressures and cause some problems with them up front and, cause some problems with that quarterback.
So unlike last week where we saw that just 3 yards in a cloud of dust style, just really grinding offense out of Cabot. When you say quarterback threw for 300 yards, what type of offense do they run? I imagine a little bit more of a spread.
Yeah, they're very similar to us. Very similar. They're going to be in a lot of doubles, 3-by-1, one-back sets. They do get in some two-back stuff, but they're probably more spread, open it up, and let him do his thing. They're a sprint-out team, and he just kind of makes things happen in the backfield. Sometimes you think he's all right, and he spins out and rolls left, and he finds a receiver breaking down the field. So he's got great vision, being a tall kid and everything. But they're based out of a spread-oriented offense, and Coach Weaver is a spread guy. He's a guy that likes to sling the football around. So I think he's found something he likes in his second year there, being able to throw the football around a little bit more than what they did last year. So it'll be a challenge for us, but I think that our defense is built for this. We feel like our secondary is one of our strengths of our defense. So this tonight will be a good test for us. Kelby Caffrey, Devin Griffin, and Cameron Ross, Terry Jones, those guys are going to get checked back there tonight. And we feel like we've got a good matchup against their receivers.
I'm sure they're excited about it after playing Cabot last week. Not really seeing the ball in the air very often. They're excited. Let's talk a little bit about our offense. Last week, dominating performance on offense. Over 400 yards rushing, over 600 yards of total offense. Going up against a Russell defense that you and Coach Ray have really just called kind of unpredictable. So tell us what their defense kind of looks like and what you mean by unpredictable.
Well, first of all, our offense last week was tremendous. I thought we did a great job all week preparing for them against kind of an unpredictable type defense. It's for something you don't see all the time, But I thought we did a tremendous job. Coach Ray, Coach Gentry did a great job making some adjustments throughout the game. We had some big plays because of that, but I thought we played really well. The guys did. We ran the football extremely well, and Colin made some really good decisions in the passing game. But Russellville defense, kind of a similar style to our defense. They're a very aggressive attacking style defense. You're going to see them on multiple fronts a lot. Last year they played us in a 4-front a lot of times, but we got them on film playing a lot of 3-front stuff. In the 2-back they jump into a 4-front, but I think they're going to look at us and see how we ran the football last week, and they're going to jump into a lot of 4-front, which we like that. We like that because they're a little bit more predictable that way. When they get into their 3-front, they're bringing pressures from everywhere, and that's where you got to find out where they're bringing it from. We have an idea. We kind of feel like we know a lot of the guys that are going to pressure, but picking that pressure up is the big problem, and from a defensive standpoint, that's what we try to do. We try to keep people guessing where we're going to bring that other linebacker from, with that 3-front, and it's always a 4-man movement for us, but you got to figure out which one's coming, and that's a lot of their philosophy too. They have a little bit more of a tendency than what we probably do because of they've got a certain number they like to bring a lot, so hopefully they hold true to that tonight.
Good deal. Well, Zach Wallace had 277 yards on the ground. I'm sure he wants to have a repeat performance of that this week. But let's talk this. Now, as you said to the kids at the end of the game last week, the season starts this week. It is the first conference game. I know that's important. Talk a little bit about the importance of that, and then give us an injury recap. Tell us if you got anybody out this week.
Okay. This week we talk about playing in the playoffs. That's the big thing around here. We want to compete for conference championships, state championships, and this is the week it starts. We talked to the guys about this year, honestly, not trying to sound arrogant or conceited, but we want to play for a state championship this year, and that's week 14. And the only way to get to week 14 is take week 4 step, and then worry about week 5 step, and climb the ladder slow at a time, So this week it starts for us, and it's against a very good Russellville team that we can't overlook. We can't look to week 14 or week 11. You have to take care of the 4th week, and Russellville's going to be a tough ball game tonight, especially both the possibility of the weather conditions with the unknown right there. We're going to have to play well tonight, and I think the guys have realized that. They understand that, and we've got some smart kids, some kids that understand that concept. We feel like that we're ready to go tonight. On the injury front, last week we missed Josh George. Josh will be back tonight. We held him out last week. We got dinged in practice. Just felt like that was the best thing for him with concussion stuff. Michael Allison left the game last week with what a lot of people probably thought was concussion. Was never diagnosed with concussion. It was more of a neck thing, and decided to keep him out. He took a pretty good hit to the head, in the neck area. But Michael's practiced all week, and he's really ready to go. Braxton Slaughter left the game last week with a concussion for sure, and we're going to be really safe with him. We really don't know exactly what direction we're going with him right now, but that'll be a later decision based on medical staff decisions and stuff like that. But he's had a good week of practice, but we also want to err on the side of caution a lot of times with that concussion injury. Other than that, I think that's the 3 main guys that we missed last week. Jaden Nash is a guy that hasn't played in a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. We'll not have Jaden again this week. We're hoping to get him back in the next week or so. He's got a pretty good tear of his hamstring, and hopefully we can get him back soon. And he has a lot of quality depth for us, so when we do get him back.
Yeah, well, it's kind of nice. This is one of the first years Benton's seen some real depth at the receiver spot. You can actually you can lose a guy, and you've got some replacements that are able to step in there and play pretty well. Well, I'm excited about tonight. Start to the hopefully they won't like landings or lightning. So anyway, we're going to head to the break, and then when we come back, we'll be with Jim and the guys in the booth.
One of the biggest factors in your child's learning experience, whether it's bookwork or athletics, is their vision. Doctors Glenn and Skinner and the skilled staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic are here to help you see a better world. And they want everyone to have access to quality eye care. For thorough, visual, and comprehensive eye exams, call our optometric physicians and staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic at 501-778-2020. For quality eye care close to home on Highway 5 next to the Long Hills entrance, Benton Eye Care Clinic. One of the biggest factors in your child's learning experience, whether it's bookwork or athletics, is their vision. Doctors Glenn and Skinner and the skilled staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic are here to help you see a better world. And they want everyone to have access to quality eye care. For thorough, visual, and comprehensive eye exams, call our optometric physicians and staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic at 501-778-2020. For quality eye care close to home on Highway 5 next to the Long Hills entrance, Benton Eye Care Clinic.
Saline County is one of the fastest growing areas in the entire country. The state's best schools, thriving businesses, family-friendly communities, and the great outdoors combine to make our home both exceptional and uniquely local. At Saline Health System, we deliver care that's as extraordinary as our home. With the most advanced technology and a team of doctors and nurses who know you by name, we're here to provide the care you deserve. Because around here, local is always extraordinary. Saline Health System.
Hey Panther fans looking for a local dentist that cares? Look no further than Bethel Smiles. Benton native and Panther alum Dr. Justin Bethel and his staff are pleased to be back serving the community where it all began. Bethel Smiles is a full-service dental office treating all ages and proudly offers the lowest cost braces in town. We realize at Bethel Smiles that your time and your teeth are precious, so most procedures can be performed the same day. So save time, save teeth, support local business, and schedule with Bethel Smiles today. Call to schedule your appointment at 501-778-4746. Bethel Smiles is a proud supporter of Benton Athletics.
Welcome back to the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6. Terry, the Benton offense, Russellville defense matchup. It's a very balanced Panther offense, averaging 475 yards a game.
Well, you know, when you look at these, and Coach talked about this earlier, when you look at these two teams, their schemes are very similar. And so nobody's going to be surprised by what they see tonight. The Panther offensive line, though, gets their leader back this week with UCA commit Joshua George returning to the lineup from an injury last week. And if Benton's offensive line can get a good push, Jim, and force the Russellville defensive backs to cheat up, they stop the run, the Panthers should have another big offensive night tonight.
Panthers average 42 points a game. Russellville gives up 17 a game. On the other side of the football, the Benton defense, Russellville offense matchup. The Russellville offense not just one that will blow you away with numbers. 101 yards a game rushing, 218 passing. They average just 22 points a game. Terry, what do you look for in the matchup there?
Well, Russellville takes what the defense will give them. And, you know, last week you heard Coach talking about their quarterback, Atkins. Last week, Russellville's quarterback, Red Atkins, was 32 of 44 for 311 yards against Alma. But get this, Jim. His longest pass was 25 yards. They'll try to spread our defense out and get our linebackers working from side to side. And Benton's got two very good experienced cornerbacks in Devin Griffin and Kelby Caffrey. And our linebackers have played pretty good all year moving laterally. So, you know, I look for the Panther defense to bring a lot of pressure this week and force the Cyclones to make some quick decisions. Could be another good night for the PDC.
And it'll be interesting as the rain continues to fall very hard. In fact, it's picking up right now. How that will impact the play calling for a pass-happy Russellville team. Going to be hard to throw in this weather tonight.
Well, they're definitely going to have a challenge tonight dealing with, you know, you heard Coach talk about their offensive line has struggled a little bit at times this year, and they're facing probably the best front seven that they've seen all season.
This week in Benton Panther football, it's been a tough one. The JV won against Gurdon on Monday night, 34-7, and then it was all downhill after that. The 7th grade took a couple on the chin at Lake Hamilton Monday night. On Tuesday night, the 8th and 9th grade JV teams lost a couple to Sheridan, and then last night at Lake Hamilton, two heartbreakers. The 8th graders lost 24-20, and the freshmen lost 14-12. Last week in the 6A West, Russellville won at Alma 31-0. Siloam Springs is 2-1 with a 35-32 win over Van Buren. Jacksonville defeated Little Rock Hall in overtime 6-0. Greenwood beat Page, Oklahoma 49-13. Lake Hamilton 42-7 over Hot Springs. Whitehall defeated Sheridan 50-27, and El Dorado was open.
Well, you know, Greenwood destroyed Fayetteville in the preseason scrimmage. I don't know if you remember that. That got called early because of weather. And Fayetteville is listed #1 in the state this week. And the other thing that sticks out, Jim, is they're doing something right over in Lake Hamilton. Now, they haven't had competition like they have tonight, but they're still putting up points, and and they've looked pretty good in the first 3 games of the season.
This week in the 6A West, it is conference opening Friday night. In addition to this game we have here tonight, Benton at Russellville. Sheridan is at Siloam Springs. El Dorado is at Lake Hamilton. And Little Rock Hall going all the way out to Greenwood tonight. Last week in Saline County, Fayetteville beat Bryant 36-35. That is 3 games in a row between those two teams decided by 1 point. Fayetteville got the better of Bryant this year. Bald Knob defeated Harmony Grove 32-22, and Jason Kelly's Glen Rose Beavers shut out Fouke 38-0. Bauxite was open last week. Tonight in Saline County, Fort Smith, Northside, and Bryant are playing. Understand that game is in a weather delay before it even kicks off. Harmony Grove is all the way down in the southwest corner of the state against the Ashdown Panthers. Bauxite is at Malvern tonight, and Glen Rose is up in Ola to play the Two Rivers Gators. We'll take another 2-minute break and come back with our picks to click and John's long distance pinpoint keys to a Panther victory. This is Benton Panther pregame, brought to you by Everett Buick GMC on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
Begins with a good blueprint, and every good blueprint must be designed specifically for the people it serves. The Benton Event Center, Riverside Park, and the new Boys and Girls Club, all designed by the professional architects at Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. They understand the Benton community and are a major part of our economic success. Proud sponsors of Benton Panther football and valued partners for our community.
At this time of year, the best way to experience Benton is to be a Benton Panther football fan. The city of Benton is very proud to be one of the sponsors of the 2018 season. The student body is ready, the pep steppers are ready, the cheerleaders are ready, the marching band is ready, the players are ready, Coach Harris and his staff are ready, and the city of Benton is ready for a drive to a state championship. Experience Benton and support the Benton Panthers. Go Panthers! Congo Fireplace and Patio has been Benton's go-to place for all your hearth needs since 1920. Stop by now and see over 20 live burning displays. With the South's largest collection of gas logs, gas inserts, and wood-burning stoves, Congo has what you need to heat your home this winter. Get any accessory you need for your fireplace and stove in one place. Plus, see the largest selection of pellet stoves. With over 90 years of combined sales and service, there's no other place to shop.
The Everett difference is much more than just vehicle sales and service. It's also our commitment to helping those who help others, like those who work to build communities, those who help to enrich the lives of children, those who provide a loving home to kids in need, and those who lend a helping hand when you need it. It's a privilege to work with these wonderful organizations, and we're grateful for everything they do. That's the Everett difference. Everett Buick GMC.
As the national anthem comes to a conclusion tonight, no bands here. The fireworks still going off in the south end of the stadium. It is pouring as hard as it has rained all day here at Russellville. As we go to our picks to click, Freddie Reinhardt with a long memory, thinking back to last year, picks Colin Morrow, a young man who had his season come to an end against Russellville. Colin is Freddie's offensive pick to click, and Ty Nethery, the senior, has kind of had a slow start to his senior year, but Ty had 3 sacks against Russellville last year, and that's Freddie's pick to click on defense. Terry, your picks.
I like Freddie's picks, and I was thinking wide receiver when I saw him, and then I checked the weather report.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that Zach Wallace is going to get another big night and a lot of carries on the ground. I think the offensive line is playing inspired ball right now. And also, I look for Russellville to attack the flats tonight. And Kelby Caffrey could have a monster game, I think. He'll reach out and touch you, Jim, as you know, and that aggressive physical play could cause some turnovers tonight.
Our buddy John Penn back at home has taken Gavin Wells and the Panther senior defensive end Dylan Ferguson, and for the first time we go down to a soggy Dio Vanucci for his picks.
Soggy's the right word for it. I've heard the phrase raining cats and dogs. Well, it's raining cats and dogs and hamsters and snakes and any other pet animal you could name. This is one of the hardest rains that I think a football game's ever been played in for Benton High School. For my picks to click, I took Michael Allison. He's just got a steady hand. I know they may not put the ball in the air a lot, but when they do, they're probably going to be going to him. And then on defense, I took Cameron Ross. If Russellville wants to put it in the air, I'm going to trust my free safety to bring it down for Benton.
And look for Cameron to come downhill in that run defense as well tonight. Despite the elements, the inflatable tunnel is up in the end zone. The Panthers going to run out of that inflatable tunnel here momentarily.
Running to it right now.
Yeah. Terry, we're going to let you, in absentia of John Penn, give us 3 pinpoint keys to a Panther victory.
Well, John's 3 keys to Panther victory is fast. Start fast on offense, and we never want to play behind on the road. That's just typically a bad strategy, especially, Jim, when you're playing in a bad weather environment. And the second is to force them to grind it out. No big plays given up. We gave up a few last week. We hope that they make some adjustments, and we'll take care of it better this week. And then focus and forget. And forget last week's win. That was a big win last week for the program, and I think everyone got excited, saw where Max Preps has us ranked #1 in the state. Well, it's time to forget all the hype and focus on winning tonight, especially since it's the opening of conference play.
You know, it was an attention-getting win for the program because every media outlet in the state was there with Mike Malham going for 300. What they saw was as good a game as we've seen the Benton Panthers play in a long time.
Well, I've been watching Panther football for a long time, as you have, Jim, and that's one of the best complete games that I've seen the Benton Panthers play in a very, very long time.
The captains meet at midfield. Colin Morrow, Devin Griffin, Kelby Cafferty, and Jensen White are the captains for the Panthers. For Russellville, it's Johnny Booker, Ryan Cooper, Red Atkins, and David Bonilla.
They've got to shut up in the closet here.
They do.
I hope they didn't lock the door.
Well, I hope it doesn't fog up. Benton wins the toss and elects to defer. Benton will kick off, so Russellville will have it to open the ball game. A wind of 10 miles an hour blowing out of the north. It will be at the Cyclones' back. Benton will kick off into the wind. It is 72 degrees here at kickoff. And Dio, as we go back down to you real quick, the field conditions just miserable for this one. Maybe so miserable Dio went and hid.
I lost you there for a second. What was your question there, Jim?
Well, I was just as Russellville brings a boat paddle out as they take the field, the conditions just miserable tonight for the offenses. What do you expect?
Well, I was just standing under this tent talking to Coach Ray. He said, couldn't ask for better weather. His exact words. He said, I feel like I'm in San Diego right now. I said, I think you mean Seattle. It's a little bit rainier than San Diego gets, but I don't think early on it's going to really change his game plan a whole lot until we start seeing the weather affect it. And then, you're probably going to see a little more ground and pound with Zach Wallace and D-Buddy.
I remember Scott Nethery telling me a couple of times it's not the rain that's the issue, it's the wind. And the wind is not much of a factor, though throwing in this rain might be quite the challenge tonight, Terry.
Well, it is because, at the end of the day, that wet football, I mean, you can square up on it just right and have your hands right, but a wet football is a wet football. And so we could have some key drops in the game tonight.
Russellville in all black. Black helmets, black jerseys, black pants tonight. Benton in white pants, white jerseys, and those familiar maroon helmets across the way. Russellville will receive the game's opening kickoff. Benton will kick it away. It is a very, very sparse crowd that has assembled here tonight at Cyclone Stadium for the conference opener. No, we've got a lot of folks back home tuned in to 106.7 The Ride tonight, watching the live stream, courtesy of Fidelity Local 6 on BentonPantherFootball.com. From the foothills of the Ozarks to the banks of the Ouachita River, where Benji White is every Friday night watching Benton Panther football, to the back porches of Besanken Road. They may be getting rained out on the back porch tonight. It is time for Benton Panther football as Alan Vargas is going to tee it up, and he will kick off for the Benton Panthers. Back deep to receive for Russellville. It's Johnny Booker, Drake Adkins, and Brady Burnett. As Vargas approaches it, we are underway tonight. Benton Panther football from Russellville, and we see a bobble of the opening kickoff. Coming up with the loose ball is Jaden Palmer, and he's going to return it to the 23. And Terry, we'll see the PDC right off the bat.
Well, we sure will. And how many times have you seen one of those bobbles turn into a really big play? There's a great job of the Panther kickoff team getting down and staying in their lanes and getting the receiver or the running back down on the ground.
Starters for Benton defensively, Ty Nethery, Chris Wright, and Dylan Ferguson, the front three. The linebackers are Bryce Gallagher, Kevin Carroll, and Zach Parker, Kelby Caffrey, and Dylan Burnham. The secondary is Devin Griffin, Terry Jones, and Cameron Ross. As Russellville comes with the jet sweep to Aaron Williams. He was hit very hard by Kelby Caffrey, knocked the ball loose out of bounds, a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, that's why I picked him as my pick to click. You saw him watch that jet sweep the whole way and stay home and didn't overcommit, and then laid a vicious hit knocking the ball out of bounds.
2nd down and 9 for Russellville as Atkins empties the backfield. He's looking downfield, now scrambles out of the pocket, and he is going to be run out of bounds by Bryce Gallagher just short of the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Cyclones.
Well, it's a good down for the Benton Panther defense. Hopefully we'll get a stop here, Jim. A 3 and out would be really big to start the game.
3rd down and 4 Russellville. Ball at the Cyclone 29-yard line. Rhett Adkins is the Russellville quarterback. He has Cade England in the backfield with him. 3 receivers split to the wide side. Atkins going to scramble away from pressure from Carroll, and he's just going to throw that one away. TJ Holt, the nearest receiver, and the PDC forces a 3 and out, Terry.
Boy, they sure did, and they did it by playing great. That time, that was just a throw out of bounds because nobody was open and he was under pressure. Great job by everybody on the defense.
Rhett Adkins is the Russellville punter. He's also the quarterback, so be careful here. He averages 44.7 yards per punt, along of 63 on the season. Benton leaving the regular defense in. Atkins bobbles it, and he's going to be dropped by Kevin Carroll back at the 21. A marker comes in. We may get a roughing, or a grounding against Atkins as he bobbled the snap, and Kevin Carroll ate him up, Terry.
Well, he sure did. There's a good push up front right there, but I think he saw something that he was going to try to change the play, and the Panthers did a good job of disguising their defense, and so when he tried to change it, it was too late, and Kevin Carroll comes up with a big play for the Panther defense.
So they're going to waive off the penalty, and they are going to call that, I believe, an incomplete pass before Carroll got Atkins to the ground. But nevertheless, Terry, it gives Benton great field position. 1st down and 10 at the Cyclone 29.
Well, let's see what Coach Ray dials up here right out of the bat.
Colin Morrow is your quarterback. Gavin Wells in motion. Going to throw it on 1st down. Set up the screen to Zach Wallace. And Zach unable to hold on to the football.
Pass complete to Zach Wallace.
Well, they are going to say he made the catch. Going to mark him down at the 27. No. Referees are a little slow spotting the ball. They're going to say incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, I think they're trying to get a dry ball out there. Zach did a good job of coming down with that ball, thrown into traffic a little bit. Panthers will line up for 2nd down.
Braden Murdoch is the H-back replacing the injured Braxton Slaughter tonight. Is Morrow hands off to Wallace, and Zach running very, very hard down near the 20-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 as Zach picks up 9 yards.
Well, we've seen it all season, man. He sees that hole, and then he just explodes into it and then runs physical after contact for at least 2 or 3 yards.
Running behind James Durling and Henry Hicks that time. Jensen White and Austin Jones on the left side of the line. Joshua George is the center on 3rd and short. Direct snap to Wallace, and Zach is going to have the first down as he lunges to the 15, and it'll be 1st down Benton at the Cyclone 15.
Well, that wild Wallace formation that they've got is really, really hard to defend.
Panther receivers tonight are Michael Allison, Garrett Body, Gavin Wells, and Braden Murdoch, as Benton sends back their regular personnel on 1st down and 10 at the Cyclone 15-yard line. Colin Morrow threw for 6 touchdowns last week, takes the snap, gives to Zach Wallace running left, and Zach is going to power his way behind that big Benton offensive line down to the 10.
Jim, you're just not going to get him down with one-on-one. It's going to take 2 or 3 guys, and by the time you get 2 or 3 more, he's got 2 or 3 more yards.
Good blocking by left guard Austin Jones, the 6'2", 260-pound junior on that play. It is 2nd down and 5 Panthers. 9:30 to go in the first quarter. Benton threatening at the Russellville 10. Give it off to Zach Wallace, and Zach picks his way back over the right side of the line down to the 6-yard line, very close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Boy, nice patient run that time by Wallace. He really, really did a good job changing directions and getting good yardage.
Panthers with 5 runs, 1 pass on this drive. Give to Zach again, running right. Zach hit twice in the backfield, able to break the tackles and get to the end zone for the Panthers score. Touchdown, Zach Wallace. Touchdown, Benton Panthers with 8:57 to go in the first quarter.
What a magnificent run there. He took the handoff and then just kind of drifted to the right and shook off, 1, 2, 3 different tackles, and then really plowed his way into the pylon there for the score.
Joshua George will snap, Braden Murdoch will hold, and Alan Vargas will kick. Snap is good, hold is good, Vargas's kick is up, it is good. The Panthers draw first blood and lead it 7-0 with 8:57 to go in the first quarter. Dio, boy, a perfect start tonight for Benton.
Yeah, guys, it really is. I'm down here near the pylon where Zach just went in, and I'm going to tell you, it was a very contested touchdown. I mean, he broke several tackles on his way, but unbelievably able to plant his foot and get upfield right at the boundary and just power into the end zone. Very impressive run. I wish a college scout was down here to see it. They'd see some of the power that Zach Wallace has.
Hey, Dio, if it's any consolation, I can actually hear the rain hitting your umbrella.
Yeah, that's not a consolation, Terry. I don't appreciate that. Listen, hey, I'm riding with you. Let me tell you something. That passenger seat is going to be soaking wet. You're going to have to wring out your passenger seat when we get home. That's all I got to say.
Well, Freddie's with me. He's on the sideline, too. We ought to just let Dio and Freddie ride home together, huh, Terry? So Alan Vargas to kick off, 6-play, 29-yard touchdown drive for Benton. Took 2 minutes and 3 seconds, and the Panthers lead 7-0 with 8:57 to go here in the first quarter. There is a fumble on the kickoff, and Benton scrambling. Russellville is going to come up with it. Coming up with it is Jacob Luster, the middle linebacker for Russellville, and that's a fumble that played to the Cyclones' favor. They're going to have the football at the 38.
Boy, sure did, and he did a great job of picking that up on the bounce and then kept running with it. Got another, 10 to 15 yards on that. The Cyclones starting off with great field position at the 38.
So 1st down, Russellville. We saw the PDC force a 3-and-out on Russellville's first possession as they bring a man in motion. Give it to Cade England running left. Bryce Gallagher with a good tackle at the 40-yard line. A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Excellent form tackle by Bryce Gallagher that time. Good job of defense of staying home.
So 2nd down and 8 for Russellville. as they move left to right in this first quarter. Atkins to throw. Atkins throws a strike. Catch on the Benton sideline. And the catch is made by T.J. Holt at the 45. It's going to be 3rd down and 3, Terry.
Yeah, they did a good job of throwing underneath the coverage. Cade Clark was settled back a little bit, and that time they got a route underneath him and got some good positive yards.
3rd down and 3. And Atkins going to throw again. Cade Clark in the coverage, but Holt makes the catch just shy of midfield, and it'll be enough for a Russellville first down.
Well, this is what Russellville does. They'll go side to side. They'll take these little dump passes and get you running laterally, and that time it worked out for them.
They do mark it at midfield. It's first down Cyclones following the 3rd down conversion. As they bring Williams in motion, Atkins looking his way, going to lob it out there. Catch is made, and Kelby Caffrey with a punishing tackle of Aaron Williams after a 2-yard gain.
I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of schools that are missing out on a good player right there. Caffrey just really broke down on this and then really cleaned him up right there at the very end.
5'11", 170-pound senior came in with 23 tackles on the season as the Benton defense eats up Red Atkins in the backfield. Trey Maxwell had a big night last week with 8 tackles against Cabot. Going to make the tackle for loss back at the 49, and it'll be 3rd and 9 Cyclones.
Well, when you got a young offensive line like this, you can come out and play some good plays, but when you're playing against a defensive front like this, Jim, you've got to play good plays every play, and that's one where they took off and they paid for it.
So 3rd down and 9. Russellville will send trips to the wide side of the field. Single receiver to the short side. Bring England in motion short side. Atkins looking. Atkins sacked as Kyvan Carroll gets to him. Kyvan with the sack in the backfield, his 2nd of the season, and Russellville going to face a 4th and 15.
Boy, great penetration by Kyvan Carroll that time. Big sack and forcing that 4th down.
Atkins going to drop back to receive the snap. Kelby Caffrey is back deep to return for the Panthers. Kelby averaging 8.5 yards per punt return with a long of 14. Atkins puts his foot into it, and he kicks it well over Kelby's head. That lands at the 5 and goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Benton will have it 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Dio, really good start tonight for the Benton defense.
Yeah, excellent start. I've got my our intern down here holding the umbrella over the microphone so that all this rain doesn't destroy it. Grace has asked not to be on camera. So I'm like, hey, you got to hold the umbrella. I don't know what to tell you. No, in all seriousness, defense looking very good. Kyvan Carroll playing pretty lights out. And really, it looks like Russellville's playing very tentative. I don't know if they think that this rain has got something more than water in it, but they're playing a little soft.
So 1st down and 10 Panthers. Appreciate Grace down there on the sidelines helping us out tonight as Colin Morrow prepares to take the snap from Joshua George. Panthers going to run the option to the right, pitch to DeAnthony Harper, and DeAnthony is going to be upended by Drake Atkins at the 24. A gain of 4, it'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that was a good job by the Russellville defense of stringing that play out and then not giving him very much room to run. Great play by the Russellville defense, but still a good gain by D-Buddy.
2nd down and 6 for the Panthers. Benton leads it 7-0, 5:55 to go in the first quarter. Ball on the right hash is the Panthers going to give it to DeAnthony running to the wide side of the field, and DeAnthony's over the 30. He's going to have 1st down yardage to the 32-yard line. Jason Collins on the tackle for Russellville. But that'll move the chains. 1st down Benton.
Well, the bad news for all of these teams that have to play us for future years, this is the guy that had 4 carries for 178 yards last week, and I mean, he can flat go. And he's a very, very good running back.
Panthers go with the heavy package. Direct snap to Zach Wallace on 1st down. Just trying to overpower Russellville on the right side. Zach is going to pick up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
You kind of get the feel from the tempo of the game, Jim, that Justin thinks that they can just dominate them up front and not take any chances in the air.
Panthers have thrown one pass thus far. It's been a heavy ground attack for Benton in the early going as they move into a 10-mile-an-hour wind here in this first quarter. 5 minutes to go. Benton leads it 7-0. Morrow with DeAnthony Harper set to his right. Takes the snap, going to give to DeAnthony, running left, and DeAnthony's going to pick up 4 yards to the 39, and Benton's going to have a third and manageable situation, 3rd down and 3.
Well, anytime Justin Ray gets this situation and on the offense, he's going to be excited because 3rd and 3 is very, very manageable, but also, Jim, it's just enough that you really open up the playbook on this one.
Bring Zach Wallace back into the backfield as DeAnthony Harper checks out on 3rd down and 3. Russellville showing blitz. Now Colin Morrow is going to look to the sideline. It's Justin Ray signals in the play. Morrow's going to move Wallace to his right. Bring Gavin Wells in motion. They're going to give it to Gavin on the jet sweep running right. Gavin's got the 1st down and more over the 45-yard line up to the 48, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for Benton, 1st and 10.
Well, not only can he run, not only can he catch, but he can also deliver a block. That time Zach Wallace kicked his guys out and provided the lane for Gavin Wells to shoot through. Great run by Gavin Wells.
9 yards on the 3rd down conversion for Gavin. It is 1st down and 10 Benton. Ball on the Panther 48-yard line. There's a snap back to Morrow. He's looking deep. He's throwing deep, and that one, boy, you saw the rain come into play as that ball fell well short of Michael Allison. Is Colin unable to throw a strike on that one?
Oh, yeah, the ball just slipped out of his hands. It was easy to see, and that's too bad because Michael Allison was wide open. He was going to walk into the end zone that time, and unfortunately the weather claims its first victim.
He had Cade McGee beat on the far side of the field. Morrow unable to grip the very wet ball. It's now 2nd down and 10 as Wells comes in motion, going to give it to Gavin on the jet sweep coming near side, and Gavin is tackled very, very hard at the 48-yard line. On the tackle was Brian Bonilla Chavez for Russellville, and it'll be 3rd down and 7 Panthers.
Well, that's what you want out of your defenders. You want them to go up and lay a lick, and Chavez laid a really good lick, but he hit one of the toughest guys on the offense.
Little spark plug bounced right up, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
3rd down and 7 Panthers. Ball at the Russellville 48. So the Panther offense looks to the sideline for the play. 3 receivers bunched to the right. It's Body, Wells, and Murdoch. Allison, the single receiver, to the left. Zach Wallace in the backfield with Morrow. As Morrow takes the snap, gives to Zach Wallace running near side, and Zach's hit. Zach going to be dumped back at the 50-yard line by Titus Riley. It is a loss of 2, and Benton will have 4th down and 8.
Well, that was a really good job by the Russellville defense just stringing that out, but they also didn't fall for the fake. We had a little fake pass out to the right-hand side, and they didn't bite at all. Everyone stayed home and made a great play.
4th down and 8 Panthers. Ball at midfield. The offense staying on the field for Benton is Colin Morrow with a hard count. Russellville does not jump, and now Morrow looks to the sideline for the play call from Justin Ray. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the Panthers with 2:06 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads it 7-0, facing 4th down and 8 at midfield. And we go down for a sideline update from Dio.
You got to give me a minute when that happens. I got to get this thing out of my pocket so I can keep it dry down here. Hey, you can really tell on both sides of the ball how limited the play calling is with this rain. Typically in just a regular rain, the ball doesn't get so slick. It maintains a little bit of tackiness. But I'm telling you guys, it is saturated down here, and that ball, you can see it gleaming in the stadium lights. And you saw it there when Colin Morrow tried to throw it. So really interesting is going to be see moving forward which of these coaches, Russellville or Benton, are able to kind of get creative with their running game and the playbook, because it's really difficult. It's going to be difficult to make anything work in the passing game.
Well, I agree with Dio 100%. I think that the passing game, you're asking for trouble on a night like tonight with either bobbles or missed passes, and we've run the ball pretty well, and it looks like Coach Ray is going to take his chances.
4th down and 8. The offense stays on the field as Garrett Body goes in motion. They give it to Garrett on the jet sweep, running wide, and Body is going to have the first down. He's over the 40, carrying Jason Collins all the way down to the 35-yard line. What a run by Garrett Body. First down, Panthers.
Man, what a run by Garrett Body. What a strong run, because the last 6 yards he got on his own, but man, what a great job of outside blocking that time and creating some space for him to run in on that jet sweep.
A roll of the dice for the Panthers on 4th and 8, and Garrett Body picks up 15 and a first down to the Russellville 35-yard line. As Morrow takes a low snap, ball comes free. Colin able to retrieve it at the 40-yard line. Terry, that's the first time we've seen that from the Panthers tonight. They've been very, very good with ball security on a wet night.
Yeah, and that's the danger of a low snap. And it's, we talk about the quarterback holding the ball and the running backs, but, that center's got to hold that ball too in order to get that snap back. And a low snap like that tonight is going to be really, really difficult for the quarterback to field.
1:05 to go in the first quarter. Benton leading 7-0, facing 2nd and 15 at the Russellville 40. Give to Zach Wallace. Zach in the open field. Zach lowers his shoulder, and Zach is going to cough up the football as Russellville's going to come up with it at the 19-yard line. A strong run by Zach, but the ball popped free at the end.
Yeah, it looked like somebody got a helmet right there on the football there and bounced out, and boy, it just bounced right into the defender's hand. I didn't catch the number.
Jason Collins forced the fumble. Johnny Booker recovered the fumble for Russellville, and the Cyclones now have it 1st down and 10 at their own 19. The drive does flip the field, though. Benton took possession at their own 20. Now Russellville has it at their 19. As Russellville with the man in motion, there's a fumbled snap by Adkins, and he's going to fall on it back at the 12-yard line. And we've seen Russellville struggle with the snap more than Benton in this first quarter.
Well, you're starting to see a trend, and I think Dio picked up on it. These footballs are just getting more saturated, and as they do, you're going to see more miscues just like this.
And the rain not letting up a bit as it continues to just pour down on Cyclone Stadium. Another snap, that time behind Adkins, and he's able to retrieve it. Zach Parker, on the tackle at the 13-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 16 for Russellville.
Well, these spread offenses, a lot of it depends on timing, and boy, you get a backward snap like that, and it just throws everything off. That time Atkins just had to take the ball and run and get as much as he could.
And the first quarter has run out here tonight. Benton leads after 12 minutes of play, 7-0 over Russellville. We'll step aside for a commercial break. This is Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
Hi, this is Kim Hamer, candidate for State Senate District 33, which encompasses the majority of Saline County. We'd like to congratulate the Benton Panthers on their decisive win over the Cabot Panthers last week. A special shout out to Zach Wallace, who had an 89-yard touchdown return, and I think that exemplifies when you have desire and you have drive, it determines your destiny. I would like to congratulate the Benton Panthers again. Look forward to another victory this week as we go to Russellville to defeat the Russellville Cyclones. Go Panthers.
Hello, Panther fans. This is Jerry Ponder, candidate for Benton Mayor. I'm asking for your vote and support in the upcoming election on November 6th. I've had the privilege of serving on the Benton City Council for the past 12 years. I believe that my knowledge and experience provide a valuable asset to our city as we continue to move forward. Our city has wonderful schools, parks, and provides a safe environment for families. Thank you for your support and vote. Go Panthers! Paid for by the Jerry Ponder Campaign Committee.
As we come back to Cyclone Stadium, Russellville has it 3rd down and 16 from their own 13-yard line. Benton leading 7-0 as we enter the second quarter. Red Atkins has had trouble on both snaps in this drive. Going to drop back, pressured. Trey Maxwell was about to unload on him, and Atkins just sort of flipped it in self-preservation, incomplete, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, that was a really dangerous play for them. And Atkins that time was trying to flip the ball over to Cade England and missed him. And that's fortunate for them because that could have been a turnover.
4th down, Atkins going to line up to punt in that short snap formation. He stands at the 5-yard line, takes it, kicks a line drive that Kelby Caffrey fields at midfield. Kelby back over the 40. Kelby running away from the pursuit. Penalty marker comes in at the 35. Kelby's going to be tripped up at the 20. 2 flags come in, and that one's going to come back on a block in the back on the Benton return team, but good running by Kelby, Terry.
Well, I sure hope they don't call that on Cameron Ross because he did touch him in the back, but he pulled up because he saw that he was going to run into him, and that's just an unfortunate. You know, he's run back 2 really good punts, and both of them been called back for illegal blocks in the back.
I want to talk about Trey Maxwell. How impressive has he been the last 2 weeks at defensive end?
Boy, he really has. And, you know, they started him up in the nose area at the beginning of the season. Then they've kind of moved him out, and, boy, he has just really performed the last 2 weeks.
The 5'11", 235-pound junior, 8 tackles and 2 forced fumbles against Cabot last week, and he has made his presence known in the Russellville backfield in the early going tonight. The penalty is going to move it back to the Benton 49. It is 1st down and 10 Panthers. Is Zach Wallace on the give running left, and that ball came free. They're going to say Zach was down, though. Mark him down at the Russellville 49. Give Zach Wallace 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, he was down right there. His knee had touched, and then he gave up the ball. But Zach's got to learn from both of these. Is he's got to cover that football up. He can't carry it like he's been carrying it in this kind of weather environment.
Brad Harris substitutes DeAnthony Harper into the backfield to replace Wallace on 2nd down and 8. DeAnthony gets the carry, makes the first man miss. DeAnthony breaking tackles. He's all the way down to the Russellville 39-yard line. What an impressive run that time by D-Buddy.
Man, what a run. That first player that he made miss, he just shook him, got him going left or got him going right, and then broke left and spun his way down for a 1st down. Great run. Good
run by D-Buddy of 9 yards. Picks up a 1st down. Is Benton on the move again at the Russellville 39-yard line. 10:45 to go in the second quarter. Benton leads it 7-0. As Morrow takes the snap, fakes to Harper. Now Morrow's going to run. Collin with running room down to the 31-yard line. He's going to pick up 8 yards. And forgive me if I hold my breath when Colin Morrow runs against Russellville.
Yeah, anytime your quarterback runs with the issues that we've had in the past, especially when their legs get kind of tangled up there, you just cringe.
Colin does pick up 8, bounces right up, calling out the play to his offense. It is 2nd down and 2. Benton moves left to right here in this second quarter. Give off to DeAnthony Harper running left, and DeAnthony's going to have the 1st down to the Russellville 26-yard line. They will move the chains. 1st down, Benton.
Boy, Jim, he spots that 1st down and puts his head down and really finds the yardage that he needs. Watch him right here. He just lowers his head and gets himself to the 1st down.
5 yards on the carry for D-Buddy. Drake Adkins, the talented Russellville safety, on the tackle. It is 1st and 10 Benton at the Cyclone 26. Wells, Murdoch, and Body split to the right. Allison splits to the left. That big Panther offensive line that averages 285 across left to right. doing a great job opening holes in this first half. And now Benton's going to take a timeout with 9:32 to go in the quarter with a first down and 10 at the Russellville 26. And as we go down to the Panther sideline, and Dio, that big offensive line doing a great job up front for the Panthers.
Boy, they really are, and it's really nice to see that thunder and lightning package come in, and D-Buddy come in and able to have some yards. I'm telling you, the story of the night is going to be ball security, because it's not going to stop raining, guys. I'm telling you, this is like, in the words of William Wallace, this is a good Scottish rain. Not so much straight down, but just a little side-like. It ain't moving very fast, which tells me it's going to be here for a while. So it's a good thing the coach can swap out these running backs. Maybe he's got a hand towel or something back here. He can get them dried off.
Invoking William Wallace.
It's a great movie, Terry. I feel like William Wallace right now standing in this rain. I need to paint my face and get a horse.
I can hear the laughter from John Penn from Saline County, can't you? First down and 10 Panthers. Ball at the Russellville 26-yard line. As Benton grinding out a drive that began on their own 48-yard line on the ground. Zach Wallace back in there, and Zach is going to carry over the 20. Benton in the red zone as Zach picks up 8 yards down to the Cyclone 19.
Boy, that was a nice little play right there. Had motion to the left there, helped set the edge, and then Zach really just lowered his shoulder and drove the ball for another 2 yards.
How about the big senior center, Joshua George, out blocking ahead of Zach Wallace's run. It is 2nd down and 2. Benton Panthers with the wind at their back here in the second quarter with 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Snap back to Morrow. He's going to give to Zach Wallace running left. Good block on the edge by Michael Allison, and that springs Zach for another first down run down to the Russellville 6.
Boy, they had numbers on that weak side, and they took advantage of it right there. I'm not sure if he checked off the line of scrimmage or what, but it was a clear place where they needed to be running the football. They did, and Benton has a first down.
First down and goal Panthers. Ball at the Russellville 6-yard line. Benton trying to take a 2-score lead here in the second quarter. And they are, as Zach Wallace is going to waltz in untouched for the touchdown.
Same play. It was the same exact play. They had numbers there, and there was nobody there to touch Zach Wallace. He literally walked into the end zone.
Michael Allison ran the cornerback, Ryan Cooper, totally to the corner of the end zone, and Zach Wallace, who is being congratulated by Freddie Reinhardt on the Benton sideline, untouched to the end zone. Benton leads at 13-0 with 8:30 to go in the second quarter, and now Alan Vargas on for the extra point. Joshua George snaps it back. Braden Murdoch with a good hold, and Alan Vargas boots it through. Benton leads it 14-0 with 8:30 to go in the first half. Man, Dio, you were closer to Zach Wallace on that touchdown than any Russellville Cyclone was.
I almost made the tackle. I almost jumped out there, and then I realized he was on our team. But I'm going to tell you what, I haven't seen a play that wide open. It's like the entire Russellville defense thought that the play was I think he had on like the invisible coat or something like that. Nobody saw him. Nobody even made an attempt to tackle him. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I think they got confused or something. I haven't seen a play that wide open in a long time.
Well, it was kind of the old Lake Hamilton buck sweep out there that Zach ran on about 3 consecutive plays for the score. Excuse me, go ahead, Dio.
Well, I can tell you what the issue is, Jim. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but see, I think the defense got confused by this 12-man chain gang crew they got down here in these yellow ponchos. I think that threw them off a little bit. I've never seen a chain gang crew that big, I just got to tell you.
7-play, 51-yard drive in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And the Benton ground game in the early going, Terry, here tonight, very impressive.
Well, it sure is, and I kind of felt like it would be with this rain. I did think that we would throw the ball a little bit more than we have, but it's just rained so hard. It's such a chance to take that's really unnecessary when you think about the Panther offensive line.
So Alan Vargas will kick it off. Benton leading 14-0, and as he kicks it to the near side, that ball's going to hit at the 15 and roll out of bounds. And I'm sure Jeff Weaver, the second-year head coach for the Cyclones, chomping at the bit to get his offense back out on the field, as the Panther ground game has controlled the football and controlled the clock.
Yeah, they have, but his Cyclone offense has got to turn up some yards because that defense is going to get tired. You saw that happen with Cabot last week, and if they can't figure out a way to keep their offense on the field, it's going to be a long night for the Cyclone defense.
Caleb Kaufman's in the game at noseman. Ty Nethery checks back in at defensive end. Is Russellville going to run the jet sweep? And Jaden Palmer's got running room. He's going to step out of bounds in front of Cameron Ross at the 48-yard line. A gain of 13, and that's a Cyclone first down.
Well, it's a good play call. It was the right call for the right defense. We had the pressure coming up the middle, and that time they got on the edge and got one-on-one, made somebody miss, and got down the sidelines.
First down and 10 Cyclones at their own 48-yard line as Atkins fakes to England, rolls to the right, throws. That ball almost intercepted by Kelby Caffrey, intended for Jaden Palmer, and Caffrey made a great break on it, Terry.
He sure did, and that's something that he does really well, is he sees plays really, really well. And this is why I picked him because I just felt like that these situations are going to keep falling on the Panther defense, and he's going to find one of those, and he's going to take it to the house.
Kelby the bandit tonight in that Panther defense. Here comes the reverse to Jaden Palmer. Dylan Burnham is there, turns him in. Palmer with a spin, and Cameron Ross is going to force him out of bounds right at midfield. Dylan Burnham stayed home. Cameron Ross pursued. It winds up being a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Boy, and they're going to use this as a great teaching moment too, because he didn't make the tackle that time, Jim, but he strung that play out long enough for his defensive buddies to get there and help get him out of bounds.
3rd down and 8 Russellville from midfield. Atkins straight drop back, pressured. He's hit. Dylan Ferguson going to come up with a sack back at the 42-yard line, and now a late flag comes in.
Tenacious. I didn't see what the flag was, but tenacious pressure by that defensive front.
Chris Wright and Caleb Kaufman and Dylan Ferguson relentless in their pressure as Bryce Gallagher going to check back in for the Panther defense as the referees sorting out a penalty marker that lies at the Russellville 41-yard line. It was a loss of 8 on the sack by Dylan Ferguson. And we've yet to see a call from the official.
Boy, Ferguson just never gave up on that play.
Dead ball personal foul against the Panthers. I believe one of our sophomores got a little aggressive at the end of that play. And it's going to be a 15-yard mark off against Benton as the marker at the 41-yard line. A dead ball call. Terry, you pulled up the radar. How's it looking?
Well, it's looking awfully green. It looks like there's no reprieve for poor Dio.
As long as there's not a lot of red and yellow, we're okay.
It has broken up a little bit, though. We're not having the downpour like it was.
So the penalty being assessed against Benton for a dead ball personal foul. And that's going to move the football down to the Benton 43-yard line. It's still going to be 4th down, Terry, but now 4th down and 1 for Russellville.
Yeah, now a very makeable 4th down and on our side of the field as opposed to 4th and about almost 16 before. You knew they were going to punt then, but now it's probably in their best interest to go for it.
Russellville with a one-back backfield. Atkins going to take the snap. Now Jeff Weaver is going to call a timeout, and the Russellville offense will come visit with their head coach. The Benton defense will go across the way to visit with Brad Harris and Bobby Wynn, and we'll go down to the field and visit with Dio Vanucci.
So I've been called out by a former Panther Trey Pepper, who's watching us from Fayetteville tonight, and he texted and said, does Dio think he's special getting somebody to hold an umbrella for him? And I told his dad, Rob, to respond to him that obviously he's not a big enough deal yet if he doesn't have an umbrella girl. I mean, I don't know. It kind of tells you where you stand in life if you don't have an umbrella girl. That's all I'm saying. No, I say that. Grace is doing a fantastic job. She's volunteered. She's a junior in high school, wants to see if pursuing a career in the media arts is something for her. And so she's out here braving this storm with us. So I'm really appreciative of what she's doing, trying to keep Matt's microphone dry. So, Matt, she's doing a great job for you.
Thank you.
He said thank you.
And Terry, let's brag on Grace. She has helped us tremendously this season, learning a little bit of the ins and outs about broadcasting.
Well, that's true, and that's one of the great things about our program is a lot of this broadcast is done with intern work.
So 4th down and 1, Russellville goes for it. Adkins is going to keep, and Red Atkins is going to have the first down as Trey Maxwell is going to tackle him at the Benton 37-yard line. But on 4th and 1, Russellville converts, and they keep the drive alive.
Well, they do. That's a nice, smart play call and easy to execute, and that's what makes it smart. And they got the first down.
First down and 10 Cyclones as Atkins looking to throw this time, and his throw a little bit high for Aaron Williams at the 30-yard line. Again, Kelby Caffrey in coverage. Aaron Williams just 5'7", and that ball a little too tall for him.
Well, I stopped myself because the play was about to start, but that was one of the things I was about to say is we may see them start trying to throw the ball a little more with this rain diminishing.
The rain has lightened up considerably as Williams going to get it on the jet sweep, running to the far sideline. Boy, Benton just really a good job stringing that one out as Kelby Caffrey and Devin Griffin are going to tackle Williams after a yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, that's where you see the weight room come in because Caffrey just kept pushing his receiver and stringing that play out. What a great job of the Panther defense.
3rd down and 9 for Russellville. 6:50 to go here in the second quarter. Benton leads at 14-0. Cyclones moving right to left in the second quarter. Ball on the right hash mark as they balance the formation. 2 receivers to each side. Now send a man in motion. Fake the jet sweep to him. Chris Wright, as they tried to set up the screen, just blew up the play. Sacks Red Atkins all the way back at the 50-yard line.
Man, he not only blew up the play, he blew up the center to charge right through and almost untouched, Jim, as he chased the quarterback, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. What an incredible play by Chris Wright.
The 5'11", 275-pound junior noseman with the sack. And now it is 4th down and 23 for Russellville. And Atkins now with England stepping in front of him, going to punt it away. And it is a very low punt that's going to hit at the 30 and roll toward the Russellville sideline and roll out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And I want to go back down to Dio because as impressive as the offensive line has been, how about the pressure from that defensive line in this first half?
Man, I'm telling you, and it starts with Chris Wright at the nose. I mean, he's he's an animal down there. 275 pounds, but he doesn't move like he weighs 275 pounds. He moves like a running back and just shot through there, but just the power that he possesses right there. And then the quick hands, he got his hands up on the ball. The quarterback actually tried to make a throw. I don't know if you could see it from your angle up there, but he got his hands on it and stopped him from trying to throw an incompletion.
Garrett Brown checks in, and Brown going to throw one deep to Body. Ain't nobody catching Garrett. Touchdown, Panthers.
Wow, what a huge play coming out of that break. Wow.
82 yards. Garrett Brown to Garrett Body. He threw it right on the money, Terry.
Man, he threw that. You couldn't have thrown that better. That ball was beautiful, right to Garrett Body, and he never broke stride, Jim.
Garrett Body, 82-yard touchdown reception on a beautiful pass from Garrett Brown. Body's second touchdown of the season. And the Panther lead now 20-0 with 5:33 to go in the second quarter. Is that snap a little bobbled by Braden Murdoch, and Braden going to be tackled back at the 12-yard line. Boy, and as good as the Benton hands have been, a bobbled extra point was to be expected tonight, and it happens right there.
No two ways about that. And, you know, for the fact that we've got new guys down there doing that this year, and for them to be able to execute the first two flawlessly in a driving rainstorm, hey, I'll give them this one, Jim.
Dio, it looks to us like the rain lets up a bit, and Justin Ray goes to Garrett Brown. 82 yards to Garrett Body.
Yeah, well, you know, I saw just a little while ago, I saw Garrett Brown back here throwing the ball, kind of a little bit of a deeper warm-up throw, deeper than warm-up throw, let's put it that way, to Braxton Slaughter over here. I thought he was just kind of messing around, you know. I mean, why not throw the ball for a minute? But he was actually getting warmed up to do exactly what he just did. Beautiful pass, able to put the ball right on the money. Garrett Body just, you know, he's going to get a step on most defenders in the 6-up. Fantastic play call.
It was, and how about the little change up there, bringing in the fresh-armed quarterback to throw the football?
Well, I didn't really realize that we had a new quarterback until he threw the ball.
Lucky number 13, Garrett Brown connecting with Garrett Body. That was a one-play, 82-yard touchdown drive. It took 10 seconds. As Vargas's kickoff fielded on a hop by Jaden Palmer, and Palmer is going to return it to the center of the field to the 34-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 Russellville. 5:23 to go in the first half, and Benton leads it 20-0.
Well, that's a good job by the Panther kick coverage. Of wrapping him up right there at the very end. You saw, looked like Dylan Burnham trying to strip that ball a little bit. Wasn't successful, but you always like to see your defenders playing aggressive.
Good job, Austin Drury, in kick coverage for the Panthers. See another one of those super sophomores, Justin Walker, check in at defensive end for Benton on this series. First down, and they're going to swing it out, and that pass is dropped by T.J. Holt in the flat, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that may have been divine intervention, because he was surrounded by 3 defenders in hot pursuit.
Boy, Bobby Wynn's defense has been right on the money, no matter what Russellville's thrown at them here in this first half. The PDC pitching a shutout thus far. Benton leads at 20-0. They give it, no, they fake it to Jaden Palmer. Red Atkins is going to keep a nice little spin move out of a tackle. Kelby Caffrey and Cameron Ross are going to combine to bring him down at the 40. Well, let's see where they spot it. It's going to be very close to a first down. They're looking at the marker, Terry.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot it at the 44. That's a generous spot.
And they're going to move the chains, call it 1st and 10 Cyclones.
Well, that was a great pull by Atkins that time. Good read there and on that middle option, and found some running room right there in the middle. Great pursuit by the Panther defense.
First down and 10 Cyclones at the Russellville 44-yard line. Atkins drops back, winds up and throws, and that pass incomplete. It was intended for T.J. Holt, and good coverage by Kelby Caffrey, Cameron Ross, Devin Griffin over there as well.
Yeah, that's the reason Dio picked Cameron Ross for his pick to click, because he felt like that we would see some of those passes, and that Cameron would have a good eye on that angle and be able to catch one of those.
Cameron with 2 interceptions on the season. See if he can get his third tonight. As a delayed give to Cade England, running to the near side, breaks a couple of tackles, and Cade is going to carry into Benton territory. They're going to mark him down inside the 40, out of bounds at the 39, and it'll be first down Russellville at the Benton 39.
Well, let's give credit where credit's due. Jaden Palmer for the Cyclones with an excellent outside block there, freeing up the lane there for the running back to get through.
And now Russellville going with a quick tempo on first down as the throw sails high of Jaden Palmer at the 35, incomplete. Devin Griffin on coverage for the Panthers. 4:30 to go in the second quarter. Benton leads it 20-0. It'll be 2nd and 10 Russellville.
Yeah, that's a great job by Devin Griffin that time. Very tight coverage on the wide receiver. There's no way that pass was going to be completed.
So Russellville balances the formation, 2 receivers to each side. England, the lone back in the backfield. Now they send Palmer in motion to the right. Fake to him. Atkins is going to keep, and Atkins is going to carry down to the 33-yard line. Kelby Caffrey on the tackle. Terry, it seems like Russellville going a little more to the fake jet sweep quarterback keep on this series.
Well, they're seeing that pursuit and the good job that the Panthers are doing moving laterally, but now what they've done is they've made that adjustment, and Atkins is really watching those linebackers and then finding that open space in the middle.
3rd down and 5, Russellville, as the clock now under 4 minutes to go until halftime. On 3rd down and 5, Russellville's going to take a timeout as Jeff Weaver calls the timeout from the sideline. Russellville with 1 timeout remaining, Benton with 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, that's a good timeout for them. I don't think they like the defensive set that we had, and this is a big down for them. They're on our side of the field. They've got to convert this 3rd down, Jim.
Dio, you seeing something down there at field level, going a little more to the quarterback keeper on this series?
Well, yeah, and they're actually running it's a midline zone read. That's the read is actually on the linebacker. I think they must have seen something, up from the box, how we're playing that or how we're covering that jet sweep, because that middle is wide open, guys. And I'm not sure, what Coach Wynn is going to dial up to fix it, but we've lost some of that gap integrity. I don't know if we're over pursuing or what right there, but they're going to keep doing it until we stop it.
Want to quick second to say, talk about our nose men this year, Chris Wright, Caleb Kaufman, and what a great job they're doing. Boy, we're missing Robert Langford. He had such a great junior season and was going to be a key cog in this Panther defense this year. Robert's grandmother passed away this week, and we want to give our thoughts and sympathies out to the Langford family and their loss this week, and just continue to offer best wishes to Robert as well. As Russellville going to run the option. Boy, Benton's defense played that outstanding, as it's going to be a loss of 5. Who was it, Terry?
Caffrey. He's just playing like a beast in open space right now. Broke down, didn't get shook, and just made a great open field tackle right there.
I think we've got a front runner for our cornerstone home lending defensive MVP, as Kilby has had a great first half defensively for the Panthers. It is 4th down and 10 Russellville at the Benton 39-yard line. They empty the backfield, going to go for it, set up the throwback to Cade England. He has it in the open field, and it is going to be a 1st down as England knocked out of bounds by Griffin and Ross at the 25. Russellville needed 10. They get 14.
Well, that's a great play, and I really kind of thought that the Panther defense had it covered, but, man, he really exploded down the sidelines there, and that was the 4 yards that he needed.
Kind of baited the Panther defense. The throwback, Russellville picks up the 1st down. 1st down and 10 Cyclones. Their first real scoring threat of the ball game is a lob pass for Jaden Palmer. And there is a fight for the ball with Devin Griffin. They're going to say incomplete, as I believe Devin Griffin comes up with the interception, but he was out of bounds, Terry.
Well, that may be what they called, is that he was out of bounds. But, I mean, he definitely came down with the football.
He just wrestled it away from Palmer.
Sure did. Well, you better have an open receiver if you're going to throw it Devin Griffin's way, because he's liable to take it the other way for a touchdown.
Devin with 1 interception on the season, a great cover corner for that Panther defense as they give to Palmer on the jet sweep. Penalty marker comes in. Boy, Benton played it very well. There's Caffrey again on the tackle at the 20-yard line. Zach Parker as well on the tackle, but a marker back at the 26-yard line. And we are going to get a holding call against Russellville that'll back them up to the 36.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of times, but that time it was really obvious. Kind of had a hold of his jersey there from the back, and great pursuit anyways by the Panther defense. But we are going to get assisted with the penalty.
2nd down and 22 for the Cyclones. Zach Parker was the one being held. He also got in on the tackle. Great effort from the Panther weak side linebacker. Is an empty gun for Atkins. He's going to roll to the left. There's Zach Parker again. That's going to force him toward the sideline. Now Caleb Kaufman is going to push Atkins out of bounds around the 30-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 2:34 to go, and Russellville will have 3rd down and 16.
That's a good job there by Caleb Kaufman of finishing the play, but pulling up kind of a little bit right there at the end and keep him from getting a meaningless penalty.
Actually mark it at the 29. It is 3rd down and 15 for Russellville at the Benton 29-yard line. Ball on the left hash as Russellville moves right to left. Here in the 2nd quarter, Benton leads at 20-0 with 2:34 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Atkins has England in the backfield. Now going to send England in motion, and now Jeff Weaver, in frustration, calls another timeout. That's the final timeout for Russellville in the half with 2:34 to go. Benton leading 20-0, Terry.
Well, they realize that this is their last opportunity at a score probably this half. And so whatever play they pull up right here, it's got to get them within striking range, Jim, of that 4th down if they can't convert. And on a night like this, 15 yards of a conversion is asking a whole lot of an offense.
Dio, the rain has almost stopped from our vantage point. Very, very light mist now falling.
Well, Jim, I wouldn't know. I'm saturated. I mean, it doesn't matter to me if it's a mist or a monsoon at this point. I'm the same saturation level. I was just telling Grace, I can't get my hands dry because the inside of my pockets are wet.
Oh, my mercy.
I mean, literally, my feet, she's got rain boots on that are literally draining out the top of her rain boot. That's how wet it is down here. So, but it is nice to see the rain, slowly stopping. Just talking to Nethery, and he mentioned that it looked like we were probably going to get a break here between these rain cells, so hopefully that works out for us.
And we'll see how that affects the play calling as Russellville going with the reverse. Dylan Ferguson almost gets Burnett in the backfield. Now Kevin Carroll makes the tackle. Ball pops free, and Kelby Caffrey, no, that's Dylan Burnham that comes up with the fumble recovery for the Benton defense.
Excellent job, and great pursuit by Kevin Carroll and getting that right arm around and punching that football out. Just an excellent job by the Benton defense.
That is Dylan Burnham's 2nd fumble recovery of the season. The 5'11", 160-pound junior spur linebacker for Benton coming up with the fumble recovery that Kevin Carroll forced, and Benton has it 1st down and 10 at the 24-yard line. 2:25 to go until halftime. Benton leading 20-0. As Colin Morrow back in there at quarterback. Benton runs the option to the short side of the field, and Zach Wallace with just a little running room that time out of bounds. It's going to be a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, every time I've seen that little option to the short side of the field, it was setting up something else. And I'm very, very curious to see what the Panther offense dials up over these next 2 plays.
2nd down and 11 Panthers. So Russellville defense shifts across the line. Give off to Zach Wallace, running room up the middle of the field. And Zach is going to be to the 34. Should be enough for a Panther 1st down as Zach picks up 11.
Well, let's see how they spot it. They're spotting it right at the marker. They're going to say a 3rd and inches on the spot.
Coaches in the booth beside us don't like the spot. 3rd down and very, very short. Is Benton going to go with the double reverse to Gavin Wells? Gavin trying to find room, reverses his field. Look at the little spark plug pick up the first down to the 39-yard line. It looked like they had him bottled up, Terry, but Gavin picks up the first down.
I think he changed directions like 4 different times. That one's, nope, I'm going to go to the right. No, I'm going to come back to the left. And then he found a hole and shot through and got the first down.
Poor Drake Atkins tackled error twice trying to figure out which way Gavin Wells was going. First down and 10, Benton at the 39. Give it to Zach Wallace. A pancake block from Jensen White. Springs Zach into Russellville secondary. And Zach is going to be all the way down to the Cyclone 30. What a block by big Jensen White.
Boy, it sure was. He really kicked that defender down on the ground, and then Zach broke a tackle and made another guy miss, and he was off to the races at that point.
First down and 10 Panthers at the Russellville 30-yard line. 1:25 to go. As the Panthers get a dry ball in for this play. First down and 10 as they wind the clock. Colin Morrow has Wallace in the backfield. Fake to Wallace. Morrow throwing up top for Michael Allison. And Allison couldn't make the catch as he dove for it in the end zone. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Boy, that was about 6 feet too far. That was a great pass, but about 6 feet too far. And Allison was the only person that could get to it, but he just couldn't quite get there.
Panthers tried to pick on Caleb Gray, the sophomore cornerback for Russellville. It is 2nd down and 10 Panthers at the Cyclone 30. Benton bunches 3 receivers to the left side of the formation. Going to give it to Zach Wallace running that way. Good blocking on the edge. And Zach is going to pick up 5 yards down to the 25. It'll be 3rd and 5 as the clock nears a minute.
Yeah, it was a really good tackle by Drake Atkins. He really came out and laid a lick on Wallace that time. Let's see what the Panthers pull up here on 3rd down.
3rd down and 5 at the Russellville 25. Going to swing it out to DeAnthony Harper. And DeAnthony can't come up with the catch as that ball got through his hands, and it'll be 4th down Benton.
Well, this is a big 4th down right here. The Panthers need to get into the end zone this time so that they can go in the half up 4 scores.
At the Cyclone 25.
Let's see what they get here on 4th down.
4th down and 5 Benton at the Russellville 25-yard line. Terry's pointing at Garrett Body.
I'd be checking off to that number 4 down there.
His Body going to move in closer to the line of scrimmage. Now bring Gavin Wells in motion. They're going to give in to Gavin on the jet sweep. Gavin patiently letting his blockers set up, and Gavin's going to have the first down to the 15-yard line. Terry, I know you love patient running, and Gavin very patient that time.
Boy, you can't get more patient than that. I mean, he almost came down to a jog, and watching his blockers and finding that hole so he could get the first down. Very, very good run by Gavin Wells.
First down as they throw it to the end zone for Michael Allison. Took a shot again, and it's incomplete. With 29 seconds to go, it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the Russellville 15.
Well, I don't think that the Panthers feel like they have to throw it right now, but throwing the ball, if you're not successful, it stops the clock. And with 29 seconds left, the Panthers are trying to get in that end zone.
Tristan Red's in there at left guard. Boy, what a job he did at center last week, replacing the injured Joshua George. The Panthers go with the slant intended for Gavin Wells, and that ball batted away. Good job on defense by Titus Riley to deflect that one away. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Man, that's fantastic defense by Riley. He was beat initially and caught back up and was able to get his arm around there and knock that ball down.
So 3rd down and 10 Panthers. Ball at the Cyclone 15-yard line with 25 seconds to go here in the first half. Benton trying to add to a 20-0 lead. It's a snap back to Morrow. He's going to give it to Zach Wallace coming right, and Zach lowers his shoulder, and he's going to fall forward down to the 8-yard line, and that's going to leave Benton as Brad Harris is going to take his final time out of the half with a 4th down and 3 at the Russellville 8-yard line with 14 seconds to go here in the first half. Dio, we go down to you. Play head coach here for a minute. What are you going to do here on 4th and short?
Golly, I'm not even thinking about 4th and short. I mean, I guess you got to get that. You got to think about that first before you think about the fact you got 14 seconds to actually get across this goal line right here. So the question is, do you just go and settle for the first down? That stops the clock, but you got to be ready to get up and go immediately when the whistle blows, because the clock's going to start again. Or do you just go for it all right here?
I think you just kind of go for it here, don't you, Dio?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what play you're going to draw up. Because if let's say you run a running play and you feel pretty good about it, you're probably going to knock 6 seconds off the clock, leaves you 8 seconds on the clock. The clock's going to stop, but then, you got to get back up and get set and have the play already called. If he's doing it, they're telling him the second play right now, and they got to be ready to run it because they're not going to have time for any more than that.
Well, it looks like the heavy package is coming in. Zach Wallace, we see Gavin Davis check in on offense. Colin Yandell has checked in. Bryce Gallagher is in there as well. And now Benton is going to shift. Gavin Wells is going to come. As Benton said, James Durling and Jensen White are split out tight end. Gavin Wells is going to keep. Gavin trying to make something happen as he reverses field. Now throws to Zach Wallace, and it's incomplete. Zach couldn't hold on to it. Oh, my word. What a formation. What a play. The Panthers come up empty, but, man, what creativity right there by Justin Ray.
That's just fun to watch. That is just fun football right there. Incredible formation masking, and then for Gavin Wells to just play a little sandlot back there in the backfield until Zach could get open. He threw a decent pass. Zach just let it slip through.
You had a 325-pound tackle and a 295-pound tackle split out on that play. The field tilted to the right. As with 4 seconds to go, boy, credit the creativity, but been unable to score on 4th down, and Red Atkins is going to take a knee. And, Dio, I'm going to bet that formation and that play probably was not one you had considered.
Well, actually, Jim, to be honest with you, no, you're right. I had no idea that even existed in the playbook. I'm going to have to talk to Justin about that because he has not told us about that for our PDFL youth football. We're supposed to have the entire playbook. So I'm going to say that that's been drawn up since the playbook was handed to us for our youth football program.
Obviously, you don't have the entire playbook.
Obviously, I do not. I don't even know how you'd formation that with the way that they call their formations. That would have been a very odd call.
Well, it didn't produce points, but it sure produced some excitement as Benton goes into the locker room, leading Russellville tonight here in the 6A West opener. It is Benton 20 and Russellville nothing at the half. We are going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the Farmers Bank and Trust halftime show. This is Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
Located at 520 Edison Avenue in Benton, specializes in residential, commercial, and new construction HVAC systems and offers 24-hour service. Jones is a proud supporter of Benton Panther Athletics, the Saline County Boys and Girls Club, and youth sports at Benton's Riverside Park. Find out more at jonesheatingandair.com or call 501-778-3324.
Family-owned businesses are the backbone of a growing economy. For over 40 years, family-owned Warwick's Hydraulics has specialized in manufacturing and repairing welded hydraulic cylinders and making them to exact specifications for customers all over the country. This work is guaranteed and they ship anywhere in the USA. Warwick's Hydraulics, machine specialist and proud sponsor of Benton Panther football. Call Warwick's Hydraulics today at 501-316-3156 or email them at warwicks@live.com. Dependability is their family tradition. ACDI is Benton proud. We have a long history of community involvement and activism in Benton and the Saline County area. It's why we're excited to be relocating our business here and building our new headquarters in the downtown area. We're proud to sponsor the Benton Touchdown Club. Go Panthers!
Allied Glass is a full-service glass shop located in historic downtown Benton. Allied Glass is a third-generation business and family-owned and operated since 1967. Mirrors, shower doors, commercial storefronts, auto glass repair and replacement, tabletops, screens, plexiglass, and much more. For all your glass needs, call Allied Glass at 501-778-6244, located at 115 East Sevier in downtown Benton.
Ashby Funeral Home has been family-owned and operated, serving Benton and Saline County since 1882. Through 5 generations, Ashby Funeral Home has cared for families through compassionate and professional service. Ashby's provides all types of services for families in times of loss and grief. Their aim is to treat every family as they would treat their own. Ashby Funeral Home is located at 108 West Narrowway Street in Benton, and their phone number is 501-778-2544. Ashby Funeral Home, proud supporters of Benton Panther football.
If it's Friday night, it's Panther football and hometown traditions. Benton is much better off than we were 8 years ago. We can't afford to go backwards. Hi, I'm Terry Benham, and I'm running for mayor of Benton. For 20 years, I've been a leader in business and public policy. And for the last 8 years, I've been leading successful local initiatives. We've accomplished a lot, but it's only the beginning. Join our campaign for Benton's future. Let's do something special together. Paid for by Benham for Benton.
To Russellville. Benton leads the Russellville Cyclones 20-0 at halftime, and it is time for the Farmers Bank and Trust halftime show. Our normal halftime interviewer is Mr. John Penn, who is back home in Saline County tonight, and in John's absence, we had to grab Matt Johnson real quick to come in here. Now, Matt, we talk about you being a state championship producer and director and how fortunate Benton is to have you. You're the means behind what makes these wonderful Benton broadcasts. And, in fact, you do the state championship broadcasts each year.
We do. Now, it's not just me. We have a wonderful crew. We actually have about 17 part-timers that work at various times throughout the year with Fidelity Local 6. Some of them may only work 2 or 3 times a year, and then some of them may work every week. But we have a really good crew. Especially for our big shows like our state championship shows, a key integral part of getting those shows planned and off the ground is, we talk about him a lot, Mason Woolbright. The guy is meticulous when it comes to details on broadcast planning, and he always is a really big help. He's really helpful in kind of putting our action plan together. One thing that we've always done for our broadcast that we never thought we'd have to actually use it is an emergency plan. And come to find out, this year we actually had to implement that during the Salt Bowl. And that's little things that most people don't think about that, a crew like us has to take into consideration. But, what happens, if severe weather were to break out here. Now, we don't have our trailer at this show today. It's actually in Bryant. Doing the Bryant game, but that's things you have to think about. What happens? If severe weather breaks out. If there's a fire in the press box, or the incident like what we had before. So Mason's real integral in helping come up with those details. And for a show like the state championship shows, we'll start planning those first part of November. Now, the first year we did them, it took us longer to plan them. We've done them several years now. That if we end up doing them again, right now we're not planning to do them this December. But if any type of show like that, we would start planning that in November.
Talk a little bit about what all goes into making a Benton Panther broadcast happen. The Fridays are long, long days for you. Just give us a typical Friday for Matt Johnson.
So my day starts at about 5:30 in the morning. I have 2 young kids. I've got a 7-year-old and a 7-month-old. Or actually, she's 8 months old now. And so I get them up, get them to school, and then we meet and shoot the coaches interview at 7:30 in the morning. Every Friday morning, we meet over at the complex, meet Dio and Brad over there. And then depending on where we're going and what setup we're doing, depends on if I get on the road right then. Last year when we went to Siloam Springs, we actually shot the coaches interview on Thursday because we left at 6 a.m. to go to Siloam Springs. And if we're doing a big setup like what we do with the trailer, we're typically going to try to arrive on site by 10 a.m. Siloam Springs last year was especially difficult because the way we had to run our cable and fly everything. I'm one of these people. I'd rather get there way early, and I get questions from athletic directors every time we go somewhere new. Why are you getting here so early? It's because I want to make sure we got all of our ducks in a row so that we're not scrambling when it comes to showtime.
And in addition to the time and effort you put in to making the high school broadcast happen for the Panthers every Friday night, and through the agreement with the Benton Panther Football Network and Fidelity Local 6, Benton, one of the very few, if only, junior high broadcasts in the state each Thursday night.
We do. We send 2 people out to every junior high game. I've got a director and a camera operator using a setup very similar to what we're doing tonight. And they go to every game. They were in Lake Hamilton last night. Sometimes the setups are real easy, sometimes not so easy. Last night they had some issues at Lake Hamilton, trying to get power. One thing people don't think about is, we have a decent amount of gear for our setup, and we got to have power. We got to have power for it all. And we'd done that game in Lake Hamilton last year, but we were set up on the visitor side in the stands. I haven't done a game at Lake Hamilton in the press box, and so we kind of underestimated how much power cord we needed for last night. But the key to it is whatever challenges you face during the setup, give yourself plenty of time, and then just keep a cool head, keep a level head. Don't let things get to you, and it all works out in the end. It's just television.
Yeah, and you do a phenomenal job with it. I know a lot of Benton folks naturally focused on the Panthers, but Fidelity's not just strictly a Benton football broadcast. Tell us some of the other schools you broadcast for.
So as I mentioned before, we broadcast every Bryant game, and then this year we're actually going to pick up the Bauxite Harmony Grove game here in a couple weeks, and then we're going to pick up Bauxite when they play Fountain Lake. Next year, my hope is to pick up a couple more Harmony Grove games. The biggest challenge we kind of run into when doing schools like that is getting the announcers. We're very fortunate we have you guys that do Benton, Rob Patrick and Aaron Shuttleworth through Bryant, but anytime we step outside of that, I've got to find people who can announce those games. And so, luckily, a guy, we've used him before, James Smith. I think you've done some games with him. He's really good. He's always very helpful, and then Reggie Heyman, he's a new guy that we're using to do some play-by-play work as well.
It's phenomenal. Fidelity is a wonderful asset to Benton and Saline County. And Matt Johnson, you are a blessing we will never take for granted. Thank you for all you do and all the time and effort you put into making Benton broadcast possible every Thursday and Friday night. Again, it's halftime here on the Farmers Bank and Trust Benton Panther halftime show from Russellville. Benton leads 20-0 at halftime over the Cyclones. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back and look at the first half stats. This is Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
If it's Friday night, it's Panther football and hometown traditions. Benton is
one of the biggest factors in your child's learning experience, whether it's bookwork or athletics, is their vision. Doctors Glenn and Skinner and the skilled staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic are here to help you see a better world, and they want everyone to have access to quality eye care. For thorough, visual, and comprehensive eye exams, call our optometric physicians and staff at Benton Eye Care Clinic at 501-778-2020. For quality eye care close to home on Highway 5 next to the Long Hills entrance, Benton Eye Care Clinic.
Saline County is one of the fastest growing areas in the entire country. The state's best schools, thriving businesses, family-friendly communities, and the great outdoors combine to make our home both exceptional and uniquely local. At Saline Health System, we deliver care that's as extraordinary as our home. With the most advanced technology and a team of doctors and nurses who know you by name, we're here to provide the care you deserve. Because around here, local is always extraordinary. Saline Health System.
Hey, Panther fans looking for a local dentist that cares? Look no further than Bethel Smiles. Benton native and Panther alum Dr. Justin Bethel and his staff are pleased to be back serving the community where it all began. Bethel Smiles is a full-service dental office treating all ages and proudly offers the lowest cost braces in town. We realize at Bethel Smiles that your time and your teeth are precious, so most procedures can be performed the same day. So save time, save teeth, support local business, and schedule with Bethel Smiles today. Call to schedule your appointment at 501-778-4746. Bethel Smiles is a proud supporter of Benton Athletics.
Any lasting structure begins with a good blueprint, and every good blueprint must be designed specifically for the people it serves. The Benton Event Center, Riverside Park, and the new Boys and Girls Club, all designed by the professional architects at Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. They understand the Benton community and are a major part of our economic success. Proud sponsors of Benton Panther football and valued partners for our community.
At this time of year, the best way to experience Benton is to be a Benton Panther football fan. The city of Benton is very proud to be one of the sponsors of the 2018 season. The student body is ready, the pep steppers are ready, the cheerleaders are ready, the marching band is ready, the players are ready, Coach Harris and his staff are ready, and the city of Benton is ready for a drive to a state championship. Experience Benton and support the Benton Panthers. Go Panthers!
Welcome back to Russellville, where the Benton Panthers lead the Russellville Cyclones 20-0 at halftime. We're in the Farmers Bank and Trust halftime show. I want to give a greeting to Jerry Ponder, one of our most loyal listeners and followers of Benton Panther football. He is actually out of town this weekend attending his son's retirement from the United States Navy.
Congratulations to Jerry and certainly to his son for a long time of serving our nation.
And appreciate Jerry following the Panthers as always. He did put in his message it doesn't need 90 points like last week, and we're not on pace for that. No. In the conditions that we've seen in this first half. Benton leading 20-0 at halftime. Panthers outrushed Russellville in the first half, 209-38. Panthers had 82 yards passing to Russellville's 27. Benton snapped it 37 times for 291 yards. Russellville snapped it 32 times for just 65 yards, Terry.
Well, that defensive front, we talked about it going into the game, that this was going to be the best front seven that Russellville had seen all year. And it certainly looks that way, too. The Panthers holding them to what? Is that 2 point something a carry?
Yeah, just barely over 2 yards.
Yeah, that's a strong statement about that defensive front.
Panthers converted 4 of 7 on third down. Russellville just 1 of 7 on third down in that first half.
Well, you got to convert third down. That's the bottom line. And the Panthers have been pretty good at that and almost had a good conversion down here. For another score.
Panthers were 2 of 3 in the red zone. Russellville never reached the red zone in a first half dominated by the Panthers. Zach Wallace had a great first half, ran the ball 17 times for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Hey, let's give it to him 20 more times.
Somebody's picked a click. D-Buddy with a good first half. He carried 5 times for 31 yards. That Thunder Lightning combination working again, Terry.
Absolutely. And, I expect we'll probably see a lot of Zach Wallace in the third quarter, but if things don't improve for the Cyclones, you may see a lot of Harper in the fourth quarter.
Colin Morrow was 0 of 7 passing in that first half. Garrett Brown 1 of 1, and that one was very big, an 82-yard touchdown to Garrett Body.
Boy, it was a big, big play. And really, it was a great play call because it came when nobody was really expecting it. and just a really good deep shot.
And I don't think we can underestimate how hard that rain was for the entirety of the first quarter. It really kind of hamstrung the offenses, but boy, that Benton offensive line and Zach Wallace running really established an identity and an attitude for the first half for Benton.
Well, and it really starts with that offensive line. You kind of nailed it, because those guys they've got a different swagger about them this year than what we've seen maybe in some previous years. And man, they just really play hard, and they fire off, and they play very physical up front. And when they're out there for 4 quarters, that really wears on that defense.
Yeah, the Panther offensive line, Joshua George back in there at center tonight. It's been good to see him back. Henry Hicks,
well,
Tristan Redd, James Durling, Austin Jones, and Jensen White on that Panther front line. We go down to the field. Dio Vanucci has Brad Harris.
Yeah, Jim. Hey, Coach. Good first half, up 20-0. Little break in the weather here. How did that weather affect your game plan that first half?
Well, we really wanted to throw the football around just a little bit more, Dio, than we have, and Collins had a little bit of a hard time hanging on the football there with it. So we kind of tried to went a little bit of ground and pound, with D'Anthony and Zach, and I think we've run the ball all right. I don't think we run it like we need to, but that changed us a little bit. Hopefully this will stay like this for just a little bit with this first possession, and maybe we can mix it up a little bit, So that's it. I think we played pretty well, but I think we missed some opportunities offensively. I think defensively playing really well, though.
Well, that's what I was about to ask you about, that defensive line really controlling the line of scrimmage. Any changes on the defense?
No, we're just going to tell them to go get some more of it. I mean, we want to get after and keep pressuring them. They don't act like they want a whole lot to do with it up front right now. So defensively, got to keep applying the pressure and don't give up the big ball. They're capable of hitting us for a big play with the quarterback. He's an athlete. We let him get outside the pocket and get some time. He can get it down the field, especially if it stays clear like this.
Well, hopefully it'll stay clear for a little while. Go get him, Coach. All right, guys, back to you.
Dio, thanks a bunch. Terry, you tracked down some scores for us at halftime from not just the conference but also Saline County.
Yeah, the 6A West, of course, Benton is leading Russellville 20-0, but Sheridan and Siloam Springs, Sheridan made the trek all the way up to northwest Arkansas. They've got a 14-14 tie at half. Also at halftime, El Dorado really showed up in Hot Springs, and they've got Lake Hamilton down 21-0 at halftime. And of course, no one's going to be surprised by this. Greenwood has Little Rock Hall up 35-0 at halftime. They've already turned on the mercy rule. And Saline County, big game down in Bryant. Bryant leads north side. We just have a first quarter, and that game started a little bit late, so some of our friends will text us an update. That would be great. But Bryant leads north side 10-7. Harmony Grove is up right now on a very good Ashdown team. They're up at half 22-13. Bauxite is up 7-0 in a rain-delayed ball game, and I'm not sure what quarter that is. It just said delayed. So if anybody's got an update on the Bauxite score, we would appreciate an update. And where is Jason Kelly?
MIA tonight?
He's always good about sending us a score and bragging about his Beavers, but we don't have a score yet on the Glen Rose and Two Rivers game. So if somebody's got that, please text it to us, and we'll get that out.
So how about Harmony Grove? That was a team nobody gave a whole lot of hope for moving up to Class 4A this year. Harmony Grove has had a really, really nice start to the season.
Yeah, they really have, and they've really showed a lot of ability to score points too. And that's always, when you've got some of these small programs, you either have that kid or you struggle a little bit on offense. And they've either got that kid or they are really running a good scheme that fits their personnel, because they're doing a really great job offensively. But another one, that honestly I'm a little surprised by the start of their season, that's Bauxite.
Yeah.
Bauxite is playing lights out football right now, and it's great to see because they've got such a great tradition down in I guess they were 2A back in the day when they were competing for state championships, and it looks like they're back on the right track now.
Boy, we all support each other in Saline County. And,
absolutely.
We are a big Miner and Cardinal and Hornet fans the rest of this season. It's good to see all the Saline County teams leading at this point in the night. The best score of all, though, is the one right here as Benton leads at 20-0. Really dominating first half performance on both sides of the ball.
Well, I actually expected a little bit more competitive game at the line of scrimmage, and you know the Panthers are just dominating on both sides of the ball right there at the snap, and you know as we're getting an emergency alert for a flash flood warning.
Well, you're getting an emergency alert, and Chris Ramsey comes through for us. Glen Rose 42-0 right now over Two Rivers. So
maybe that's why they didn't report it.
that completes a sweep. Nobody in Ola wants that score to get out. Glen Rose 42-0 right now at halftime. So that'll make for a quick second half up there in Ola tonight. As the teams have come back out on the field, and the rain has just about stopped. You can see a very, very light mist through the stadium lights. But Terry Brad Harris talked in the halftime interview about coming into this game wanting to throw the football a little more than they did in the first half. Might we see that in the second?
Yeah, I think you might, although the rain is starting to pick up now, as you can see on the screen. I would like to see a little bit more of an offensive balance, but if it's not broke, Jim, there's no reason to fix it.
I'm going to tell you, that rain looks a lot harder on the screen than it does in reality.
Yeah,
looking up at those stadium lights.
I wish my eyes were as good as these cameras.
Matt Johnson's camera crew beyond HD level here at Russellville tonight is.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
You guys have heard of, and I've already referenced this, but I'm going to reference it again, but you've heard of raining cats and dogs, and I've heard of raining frogs before, but have you ever heard of it raining snakes? Because
well, I did in the first half.
Well, Coach Harris just called me over. He just threw a snake that he found on the 20-yard line when they came out from halftime. I'm standing right here by it. Now, it's a very small snake and a very dead snake now after Coach Harris got his hands on it. But we did not know that Coach Harris was a snake wrangler, but apparently you can add that to his list of talents.
Now, is that why you lost Grace holding your umbrella? Did she see the snake and run?
No, I sent Grace after some batteries because my microphone may not make it, but and the snake definitely will not. I'm sad to report that the snake will not make it, but my wife Carrie is very pleased to hear that.
There has been a casualty on the field.
Getting updates from Bryant now, 16-7, the Hornets lead. They are in a delay with 57 seconds left in the first half, and they have called it a night up in Ola as Glen Rose is going to win it 51-0 tonight over Two Rivers. As Red Atkins tried to onside kick that one, and he kicked it about 2 yards long and about 2 yards wide, and Benton's going to have it at the Russellville 42-yard line. Maybe
that.
The elements coming into play on that onside kick attempt.
Well, hopefully we'll get a replay of this because that may be the shortest kickoff in the history of football.
Well, unfortunately, D.O., we can beat that one, can't we? We saw one earlier in the junior high season that actually went backwards.
Yeah, I was looking up at the booth the second Terry said that. We've actually seen a negative 14-yard kickoff, Terry. Beat that.
So, first down and 10, Benton. Hey, we'll take the field position, though. It's Benton football at the Russellville 42-yard line. As Zach Wallace is going to be in the backfield with Colin Morrow on first down. Fake to Gavin Wells. Morrow is going to throw, and his throw behind and short of Garrett Body, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, that's a good job for the Panthers getting there at the line of attack, right there at the line of scrimmage. But unfortunately, they come up with an incomplete pass and a long second down.
Boy, for all that's gone right tonight, Colin seems to have had a bit of a struggle throwing in this weather tonight.
Well, I think he's having a hard time holding the football.
So 2nd down and 10, Benton at the Russellville 42-yard line. Second play of the second half. Benton leads at 20-0. And that second play is going to be a give to Zach Wallace. And Zach going to carry over the 30 down to the Russellville 25-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 17 for Zach and a first down.
Boy, the thing I like so much watching him run the football is, he can adjust and shift occasionally, but he is really a north-south runner. I mean, he really, really gets up the field well. It's fun to watch.
Hello to Morgan Garrett. They're listening in the Fidelity production truck at Bryant during the weather delay as Zach Wallace gets the carry. Russellville trying to strip the football, but Zach going to pick up 2 yards down to the 23, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 Panthers.
Well, that time that Russellville defensive front kind of had it shut down, and Zach just was able to turn it up and get what he could. Still came up with a couple of yards there.
2nd down and 8 Benton as Benton moves right to left here in this third quarter. Quarter that is a minute old. Benton leads 20-0, and the Panthers nearing the red zone as Wells and Wallace in the backfield. Fake to Wallace, throw. There's Garrett Body. Body makes the catch, has the football separated. They're going to call it incomplete as Johnny Booker hit Garrett Body very hard and dislodged the football.
Boy, I mean, you can't play defense any better than that. That was just a great job of making a great form tackle and separating the football.
Booker knocked the ball loose, ruled incomplete.
Booker, the strong safety for Russellville, a 5'11", 165-pound senior, saw him play a little backup quarterback for Russellville as a junior. Very hard hit from his safety position. On 3rd down and 8, the give to Zach Wallace, and Zach only going to get back to the line of scrimmage before he is tackled by Kobe Curtis and Jacob Luster, and it is going to be 4th down and 8 Benton at the Russellville 23.
Well, the Cyclone nose guard, Cameron Matchett, did an excellent job of just really jamming up the middle of that offensive line and was able to slow Zach down enough for there to get the defenders to get him there at the line of scrimmage.
Panthers going for it on 4th and 8. An empty gun for Colin Morrow. 3 receivers left, 2 right as Morrow looks. Morrow throws. Morrow's throw a bit behind Gavin Wells. He couldn't come up with it. Incomplete, and Russellville will take over on downs. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Well, that's a good hold but for Russellville right there. Panthers get in the end zone there, and now they've got troubles. They're defending the mercy rule. But as a result of that defensive hold, now they've got an opportunity to try to get back in the ball game, Jim.
Yeah, you don't want to give them extra life right
Absolutely.
here. You're up 20-0.
That's why that last score was so important. If we get that score and then we come out and we score to open the half, then we all get to go home early.
And on a wet, soggy night, that sounds kind of inviting as Jaden Palmer is going to get it on the jet sweep. Good tackle by Dylan Burnham for the Benton defense. It's going to result in a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
You know, Dylan Burnham is really playing good football. I mean, he's really played solid all year long. He hasn't had a huge breakout game, but he's been solid on every single game.
2nd down and 11 for Russellville. They go out of the shotgun, snap a little low. Atkins able to retrieve it. He is going to throw deep. Kelby Caffrey in coverage, and Kelby picks it off. It's a turnover by the Russellville Cyclones as Kelby Caffrey comes up with the interception of the pass intended for Brady Burnett.
You better find somebody else to throw at. that guy. Yeah, I'm telling you, he is a legitimate defensive prospect at the college level. That kid can play some football, and he is absolutely covering up every receiver that he's matched up with.
Dio, the PDC kind of reminded me of 2014, the way they force these turnovers.
Well, they just create such pressure in the backfield, and that causes so many good things to happen. You just see it right there, and then Kelby Caffrey with the ball skills to make it happen.
Zach Wallace gets it on first down, and a little tougher sledding for Zach here at the beginning of the second half as he just picks up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Well, you can tell that Russellville's made some adjustments at halftime, and they're finding ways to get more people in the box and try to slow Zach down.
Ball at the Benton 49. Morrow fakes, throws to Garrett Body, and that one a bit in front of him. Kind of fortunate Booker didn't pick that one off as the pass a little too far ahead of Garrett Body, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, the roles kind of got reversed there. Body playing a little defense and putting a body into the safety and breaking up the pass.
Morrow came in completing 60% of his passes. And the wet night has not been kind to the Panther passing game, as on 3rd down to give to Zach Wallace. He'll carry into Russellville territory to the 48, but it's going to leave Benton 4 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 4th and 4.
Well, you can see that they're really doing a good job of shutting down the middle right now. And so I think if the Panthers are going to run the football, at least for a little while, they're going to have to string something out and see if they can find a lane on the edge.
So 4th down and 4. Offense stays in. Braden Murdoch is the H-back. He's going to go in motion right to left. Give to Zach Wallace running right. Zach's got the first down and more. Zach at the 30, 20, 10. Zach Wallace, touchdown, Benton Panthers. That's a 4th down conversion. Zach Wallace takes it 48 yards for the Benton touchdown.
Wow, what a great second gear right when he gets to the second level. Right there, Jim, and he makes the one guy miss and then explodes and separates the defenders. 48 yards for a big touchdown.
Good blocking by Austin Jones, Jensen White, Henry Hicks, Joshua George, and James Durling up front. Is Benton now leading 26-0 with 8:09 to go in the 3rd quarter, and we've got a timeout before the extra point attempt, and a Russellville player injured is Brad Harris, Jeff Weaver, both out there. TJ White, you see the Russellville training staff out as well, looking at the injured Russellville. That's Johnny Booker, who's had a really nice game at safety for Russellville, and it's good to see him up, Terry.
Yeah, it sure is. It looks like he's got a leg injury, and let's hope it's not bad. He's played a big ball game for them tonight. You hate to see somebody having such a good night to have the rest of their night spoiled.
Is Booker being assisted to the Russellville sideline. Really impressed with that young man in the game that he's played tonight in his safety position for Russellville.
Vargas to attempt the extra point for the Panthers.
Now the Panthers will attempt the extra point as Murdoch will hold. Vargas will kick. The snap from Joshua George is perfect. The hold is perfect. And Alan Vargas's left-footed kick is up and perfect. And the Benton lead now 27-0 with 8:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dio, the yards hard to come by for Zach at the opening of the second half, but he rips off a 48-yard touchdown run.
Well, what does Terry always say? All he needs is 18 inches of daylight, and you saw it right there. Great block. I think that was that either a pulling guard or was that maybe Braden Murdoch coming across the formation to lay the block, but somebody laid a really good block. I didn't see who it was, and it sprung Zach, and then he turned the jets on and was able to get into the end zone. Hey, credit that to Kelby Caffrey with the pick and the turnover getting us the ball back.
Yeah, we've seen that, Terry. The offense has done a great job capitalizing on those turnovers. 28 points off 4 turnovers last week. And the Panther offense, after a Kelby Caffrey interception, cashes in again this week.
Yeah, we've got 14 points off of 2 turnovers this week. So Panther offense really cashing in on the gimmies.
And that Panther defense continuing to force turnovers. And I'm telling you, this defense just reminiscent of 2014 to me, the way they apply pressure on the quarterback and force turnovers as Vargas kicks off for the Panthers. As the rain now picking up, it's going to be fielded on a bounce by Jaden Palmer. And Palmer is going to return it over the 25-yard line. Cameron Ross is going to make the tackle at the 26. So the Russellville offense back out on the field as the rain beginning to fall heavier here at Cyclone Stadium.
Well, Palmer did a really good job. Cameron Ross made a great tackle right there. Palmer did a really good job of pulling the kick return back to the center of the field and then breaking back left again. But Cameron Ross had stayed home and made a good one-on-one tackle.
Zach over 200 yards again this week. 23 carries, 202 yards, and 3 touchdowns. As the give to Cade England, and Cade England is tattooed by Kilby Caffrey at the 26.
Yeah, I love watching that kid play. He is just flat out physical. Great job by Caffrey. We called his name all night. He is just playing a heck of a football game. Very physical out there on the edge.
Kyvan Carroll showing blitz on second down. They come after Red Atkins. They separate him for the football. They're going to say his arm was going forward, incomplete. But, Terry, how about the pass rush?
Boy, the pass rush really, the whole pocket just collapsed, and he really had nowhere to go.
So they say incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10 Russellville from the Cyclone 26-yard line. This Russellville offense has had nothing going tonight against the PDC. On 3rd down and 10, it's an empty gun for Atkins. 5 receivers set. Atkins looking. There comes the pressure again. He's going to scramble, and Atkins going to be tackled by Gavin Davis, but not before he picks up a first down at the 38-yard line. The coverage blanketed the Russellville receivers, and Atkins able to scramble for 12.
Well, Atkins is a very good dual quarterback, and you know, hey, if you can't find any place to run, Jim, why not send everybody deep and then let your scrambling quarterback create something?
They give it off to Cade England this time, and England with some running room. He'll be up to the 47-yard line, a gain of 8. Red Atkins has been sacked 5 times already, Terry. He's probably decided enough. I'm going to take off and run.
Yeah, well, he got some help that time from the center.
As they give to England again, this time running right. He reverses his field. Zach Parker going to make a good tackle for Benton at the 46-yard line, but it'll be enough for another Russellville first down, and the Cyclones for the first time tonight with something going offensively with 6:49 to go in the third quarter, and Benton leading 27-0.
Well, you see them getting into a rhythm and also their tempo picking up.
Is England going to get it running left, and England going to pick up 5 yards before Cameron Ross can bring him down at the 41-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 Cyclones.
I'm telling you, this tempo is having an effect. Now we've got a Panther down, and I can't see the number.
Is that Trey Maxwell?
I think it could be.
I believe it's Gavin Davis, our sophomore linebacker. Gavin
right.
injured, and see Dr. Bailey and TJ White and Brad Harris down there checking on Gavin Davis. Well, we got a outstanding medical crew between TJ White, Dr. BJ Bailey, and Dr. Jared Dixon. Really, really blessed with the medical care for the Benton football program, Terry.
We sure are, and they do an excellent job every week, but certainly whenever you've got an injury that looks like it is more than just your typical ding, you certainly want the comfort of knowing that you've got those professionals out there on the field looking after our football players.
A couple of our junior high guys had to have some surgery this week, and want to wish just the speediest of recoveries to Noah Dillard and Jackson Cobb, a couple of our junior high Panthers. As Gavin Davis now sitting up at the 45-yard line.
And I never did see the contact that he was in that caused the injury. You know, he's been a really good football player. Gavin has. since very, very early, even in what was then the future Panthers. He was always very dominant, especially at the line of scrimmage. He was always had really good size, and that certainly is translated to his high school football career, where he's getting quality minutes as a sophomore. And we're going to have a couple more years of this guy.
Yeah, Gavin, the second leading tackler on the freshman team last year, a 5'8", 225-pound sophomore, came in tonight with 7 tackles, and now Gavin is up to his feet. He's being assisted to the Panther sideline. Brad Harris out there as well, offering encouragement. See everybody with their rain gear on. Brad Harris, he don't need no rain gear, does he?
Nah, he's a tough guy.
He was out there in warm-ups in shorts and a T-shirt when it was raining the hardest. And you see him during the game action just in his regular coaching attire, soaking wet over there on the Panther sideline as Gavin Davis reaches the sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 4 Russellville as we return to action. Aaron Williams in motion. Give to Cade England, and the Panther defense giving pursuit. Boy, that's a good tackle, and what an effort by Zach Parker.
Man, what a great effort. Zach Parker chased him all the way across the field and then ran him down from behind. That's running down their running back now. That's a great effort by the Panther linebacker.
Nobody plays harder than Zach Parker. Great tackle by the senior weak side linebacker. It is now 3rd down and 5 for Russellville as they'll give it to Cade England going the other way. England bounces out, runs into a wall of Panthers right near the 1st down, and it's going to depend on the spot, Terry, as the Panther defense, again, great pursuit.
Well, from this angle, it looks like he's a little short, but I thought that before, and they gave him the 1st down. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to mark it 4th and about an inch.
So an opportunity for the Benton defense to bear down right here. Panthers lead at 27-0. It is 4th and less than a yard for Russellville. And Atkins is going to take the snap. He's keeping all the way. He's got the 1st down. Now reverses his field, and he is going to be upended by that man, Kelby Caffrey, at the 33. It is going to be a 1st down, but Kelby again with a tackle in the open field.
Yeah, and a big tackle, too. He put a really good hit right there in the thigh area, and you can tell that Atkins felt that one a little bit. He got up a little gingerly.
1st down and 10 Russellville. Ball at the Benton 33-yard line as Atkins takes the snap. He looks, now rolls, and under pressure fires to Jaden Palmer, and Palmer drops it. I think he heard the footsteps of Terry Jones.
Yeah, Terry Jones getting in on it a little bit. That's a nice, good defensive play by Terry Jones. He closed real quick and made a good, solid contact, helping separate that ball.
Terry, one of our track stars, doing a great job at cornerback in this, his senior season. 2nd down and a whistle before the snap, and a false start against Russellville. Back them up 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 15 Russellville back at the Benton 38-yard line.
Boy, and if you're Russellville, this is not where you want to be. You don't want to get in long situations against this Panther defense.
They set that ball down at the 39. We'll take a 6-yard penalty. It's a snap back to Atkins. Here
That's
comes the Panther pursuit. There goes the throw. It's a duck up in the air. Williams can't come down with it as that ball just wobbling up in the air, and Aaron Williams dropped it.
Well, they lucked out that time because there's a clear hold on the backside, and he threw that ball up just for keeps, and how they found a receiver down there that was eligible, I don't know, but fortunately for us, he dropped the ball.
3rd down and 15 for Russellville as they empty the backfield. Atkins with 3 receivers wide, 2 short. Atkins going to roll to the wide side, and the Benton defense is just absolutely going to smother him at the line of scrimmage. Zach Parker, Chris Wright at the bottom of that pile, and it'll be 4th and 15.
Good job of sportsmanship by Kyvan Carroll. Atkins is taking a lot of hits right now. And, you know, you can see it in his body language that he's starting to wear down a little bit.
Going to be a sore young man in the morning. 4th down and 15 for Russellville. They're going to leave England in the backfield as Atkins looks to the right. Good pocket this time. His throw as Brady Burnett tried to come back. They say incomplete as Devin Griffin in coverage for the Panthers, and the ball will go over on downs to Benton. The defense holds.
Yeah, the defense held that time. They got a little help. The receiver was open, but that's because the quarterback was looking deep, and our defenders took it, and they had the deep receivers covered up. It was 2 of them deep on that. And then he threw back to the one, as a good quarterback will do, Jim. He threw back to the one that was open, but unfortunately for them, he wasn't able to complete the pass.
So Benton takes over with 3:49 to go in the 3rd quarter, leading 27-0. And DeAnthony Harper is going to get the first down carry. DeAnthony has a crease, and DeAnthony's in Russellville territory. Drake Atkins is finally going to wrestle him down, but a big gain for DeAnthony all the way to the Russellville 19.
Man, D-Buddy, he just really exploded on that sideline, and he gets a really good block right there by Garrett Body, which opened the lane up and just took off, and what a great run.
42 yards on the pickup for DeAnthony Harper. It's first down, Benton in the red zone, and D-Buddy gets it again. Coming to the near side. Boy, what a cutback. And now DeAnthony hit and fumbles the football, and Russellville is going to come up with it as Brian Bonilla Chavez falls on it at the 11-yard line, and DeAnthony disappointed in himself as he had it at the 8-yard line, fumbled the football, and Russellville recovers.
Yeah, he's got to be displeased with that, and what a fantastic run up until that point. And, you know, the Panthers have put the ball on the ground quite a bit. It wouldn't surprise me to see some wet ball drills in our future. I know it's wet out there, but, you know, we've put the ball on the ground as much as they have.
And looking down on the sideline, I think Dio got his help with the umbrella back.
Yeah, I've got my help with the umbrella back. Oh, good hit there. I'm telling you right now, the action on the sideline has been good. That first run that DeAnthony had was a pleasure to watch from my vantage point. And I'm going to talk about, there's some violent hits down here. I don't remember it being like that when I was in high school, but I think the hormones in the chicken have created some monsters.
Cade England picked up 5 yards on first down. Kyvan Carroll and Kelby Caffrey, along with Cameron Ross with the big hit. They go to Aaron Williams on the reverse, and Williams is going to pick up 2 yards as Ross and Griffin on the tackle for Benton, and it'll be 3rd down and 3 Russellville.
Yeah, it looks like it. We've got Cameron Ross is getting up a little dinged. At least that's from his body language. He's playing through it, but it was a great coverage by the Panther defense that time.
Devin almost forced a fumble. Williams able to corral it at the last minute. It's 3rd down and 3 as they give it off to Cade England. He's going to have the first down over the 25-yard line as Bryce Gallagher going to make the tackle for the Benton defense. They give him the 27, and it'll be first down Russellville as England picked up 9.
Yeah, that's a good little counter play. The offensive line has set up a wall for him, and he was able to get the first down.
First down Cyclones with 2:10 to go in the 3rd quarter, and England gets the carry again, and England going to carry to the 32-yard line, pick up a 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5 as Caleb Kaufman going to check in on the Benton defensive line.
It looks like they made some adjustments, too, at halftime in their run game, because they're certainly getting a few more lanes now than they were.
See Trey Maxwell, Chris Wright, and Caleb Kaufman up front for that Panther defensive line. Parker, Carroll, and Gallagher are the linebackers. Here on 2nd down and 5 as they send Palmer in motion. Give it to England, and England going to be tackled by Dylan Burnham and Caleb Kaufman at the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 Russellville.
Great job by Dylan that time, crashing in and getting a good solid tackle on the runner.
Clock nearing a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Benton leads at 27-0 as Atkins takes the snap and keeps, and Atkins is going to pick up the first down to the 39-yard line, and Russellville seemingly content, Terry, to just run the football down 27 points.
Well, you got to move the ball down the field, and defense is already showing you that they can't stay on the field the whole night, so probably their best strategy.
It's a snap back to Atkins. Now he's going to throw on first down, and they throw the wheel route to Palmer, and Palmer makes the catch on the Russellville sideline down to the 42. And, Terry, they might have lulled us to sleep right there as Palmer was wide open.
Well, a little bit, and they're finding a little bit of space here on the right-hand side. The Cyclones are moving left to right. They're finding a little space for their receivers on the right-hand side.
First down and 10 Russellville at the Benton 42-yard line as Atkins fakes to England and keeps, and he's going to be over the 40 down to the 39, a pickup of 3, and it'll be second down and 7.
Well, I'll tell you this, I don't know what their backup quarterback looks like, but I'm not sure I would be real crazy about my quarterback taking as many hits as he's taking.
Jake Self was in there on the tackle for Benton on the last play. Second down and 7 as they give it to Palmer on the jet sweep. Boy, Benton's seen that so much tonight. Dylan Burnham and Kyvan Carroll tackle Palmer at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Well, that's the thing about the jet sweep. It forces you to make plays in open space, and fortunately for the Panthers, they've really got some good tacklers, and they're doing a good job at one-on-one.
As the third quarter horn sounds, we've got 12 minutes to play, and it has been all Benton tonight. It is Benton 27, Russellville nothing. As we'll pause and come back for the fourth quarter of Benton Panther football tonight on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
Has been Benton's go-to place for all your hearth needs since 1920. Stop by now and see over 20 live burning displays. With the South's largest collection of gas logs, gas inserts, and wood-burning stoves, Congo has what you need to heat your home this winter. Get any accessory you need for your fireplace and stove in one place. Plus, see the largest selection of pellet stoves. With over 90 years of combined sales and service, there's no other place to shop.
The Everett difference is much more than just vehicle sales and service. It's also our commitment to helping those who help others, like those who work to build communities, those who help to enrich the lives of children, those who provide a loving home to kids in need, and those who lend a helping hand when you need it. It's a privilege to work with these wonderful organizations, and we're grateful for everything they do. That's the Everett difference. Everett Buick GMC.
As we start the fourth quarter, Benton leads at 27-0 here tonight in the River Valley against Russellville. It is third down and 7, and Kate England on the counter play is going to pick up the Russellville first down as Cameron Ross ran him out of bounds at the 31, and Russellville, Terry, able to convert again on a third down and long.
Sheed Robinson, the offensive lineman, is a sophomore. That guy just laid a big block that sprung the running back.
First down and 10 Cyclones. Is England going to get it again? And England with, again, running room as he's going to be run out of bounds. Griffin and Ross again combine on the tackle down at the 18-yard line, and Russellville's in the red zone.
They sure are. And Brett Atkins is really making some good reads, but he's also continuing the play and making a good fake and keeping people's eyes on him.
Now the Panther defense going to try to preserve the shutout as they give it to England. And England tackled by Zach Parker as well as Dylan Ferguson at the 16-yard line. A gain of 2, it'll be second and 8.
Well, it's good. This is a good chance right here for the Panthers to make a solid second down play and try to get Russellville back in that third and long.
So Atkins looking, Atkins throwing, catch made in the seam. And that catch was made by Reed Wolf down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be first down and goal for the Cyclones.
Hey, that was a great job by Atkins looking that play off. Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
He looked over into the flats and then was able to complete it downfield for a great first down.
First down, they go bunch formation, give it to Jaden Palmer on the jet sweep. Boy, Dylan Burnham plays it so well again, fights off the block, turns it up, and able to be in on the tackle. It's a loss of 2. Terry, I'm just very impressed with Dylan Burnham's play as well tonight.
Yeah, he's really having a good game, a really solid game. He always has a good game, but tonight he's really kind of breaking out a little bit.
The junior Spur has played that very well. They fake it to Palmer. Now Adkins going to keep. Adkins to the edge. Adkins drops short of the end zone at the 1-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and goal Russellville, and they're going to send their heavy package on as their big middle linebacker Jacob Luster and their sophomore fullback Braden Whitford check in.
Yeah, you're going to see a big scrum right there at the line of scrimmage.
Whitford is going to take the direct snap. He wears number 40, and he's going to run it left, and the Benton defense not fooled as Kevin Carroll dumps him for a loss back at the 3-yard line.
Well, that's one of the reasons he leads the team in tackles right there. He penetrated the line of scrimmage and got down to drop him for a big loss. This is a huge play right here because if Russellville doesn't score a touchdown on this play, you're going to see the air come out of that balloon.
This is a pride play. Benton trying to preserve that shutout as a snap back to Whitford. He gives it to Cade England running wide. England hit, and England stopped short of the end zone. Second effort, and they are going to say he did not score. How about that defense at the goal line, Terry?
Oh, wow. There was like 6 different players in on that play to keep him out of that end zone. Great effort. Great effort by the Cyclones as well.
Cade Clark and Zach Parker on the tackle, and they mark that at about the 2-inch line, and Benton will take possession. And Dio, that was a excited Benton sideline on that 4th down stop.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, the ref gave the running back every benefit of the doubt. He had been down. He practically rolled around on the ground, and they just kept letting him go. But the defense held firm right there. It was a great job by several of the guys. I mean, Kelby Caffrey came up, turned him inside, and then everybody else was there in pursuit. So great play by the defense.
34, Bologna.
As big Josh Doyle is going to check into the backfield as a give off to Zach Wallace. And how about big number 78 checking in at H-back there on the goal line, Terry?
Well, we should have given him the football, man. Come on, let's get these offensive linemen some carries.
Now, we've seen some creativity, but if 78 carries the football, that would be the ultimate.
Well, you know we're all just waiting for Jensen White to line up the tailback, right?
Yeah. He showed us wheels in the maroon gray game, didn't he?
Yeah.
2nd down and 5 as Benton moves out of the shadow of their own end zone. Colin Morrow back in there, takes the snap, gives to Zach Wallace, and he's going to pick up 2 yards to the 7-yard line. And boy, the Panthers content to just milk that clock here with 8 minutes to go, leading 27-0.
Well, now on the 7-yard line, how about another 93-yard run?
You'd just like to see the hammer dropped right here.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 4 for the Panthers from their own 8-yard line. As Colin Morrow changes the play, as Murdoch, the H-back, going to move him in motion to the left. Going to run the option to the left, pitch to Zach Wallace. Zach's got the 1st down and more over the 20-yard line, down to the 22. And that yardage just adding up for Zach Wallace tonight.
Yeah, Zach Wallace is about a step and a half from seeing about 93 yards in his future.
7, Little Rock Catholic 7.
Zach Wallace over 220 yards tonight. That's after 277 last week against Cabot. It is 1st down and 10 Benton at their own 21-yard line, and that clock continues to run at 7:15 to go in the ball game. There goes Zach again. Look at him high step. Gets a block from Michael Allison, and that was a touchdown-saving tackle by Johnny Booker, who's back in there. Good to see Booker back in the ball game. as he tackles Wallace at the 40-yard line, but another first down Panthers.
Boy, he runs so strong. Nice little shift there at the line of scrimmage. And then, as you talked about, high-stepping and pulling his way through those arm tackles down at his ankles. Really nice run by Zach Wallace. Now he's coming out.
D-Buddy checks back in. Gavin Wells and Harper in the backfield together, and they're going to give it to Gavin Wells on the sweep, and there goes Gavin over midfield down to the 48, tackled hard, but Gavin bounces right back up, picks up a first down on an 11-yard run to the Russellville 49.
Another big run, another big first down, and that was another big hit there that Gavin Wells took and just shook it right off.
First down and 10 Benton at the Russellville 49-yard line. The clock now 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go.
Drake Atkins is a really good safety.
Yes, he is. Played outside linebacker last year, moved to free safety this year. As DeAnthony Harper gets it, and DeAnthony with running room. DeAnthony up the Benton sideline. He's inside the 25, down to the Russellville 23, and Benton getting it in big chunks as the rain begins to fall harder.
Boy, you love seeing players that make mistakes come back. And as you watch, when he gets into the scrum here right at the end, he covers that football up and really does a good job protecting the football.
First down and 10 Benton. Ball at the Russellville 23-yard line. As Braden Hendricks is checked in the backfield, went in motion. They give it off to DeAnthony Harper, and DeAnthony is inside the 20-yard line, tackled at the 17. How about DeAnthony running hard here in the fourth quarter?
Boy, he sure is, but he runs hard all the time. Great job of getting to the outside and protecting that football. Here's a couple of 6A West scores. Siloam Springs 24, Sheridan 14 final.
And that'll be the team that comes for homecoming next week, the Cyclones Springs Panthers. They'll come on the heels of a win as Braden Hendricks on the carry. Braden breaks a couple of tackles. He's down inside the 5, down to the 3, but the penalty marker back at the 17, and a hold against Benton will back the Benton Panthers up.
Yeah, I had to look for the replay on that. I didn't see. I think Zach Wallace was out there on the around where the flag was thrown, but no, it wasn't him. I don't know. I didn't see it. Here's the other score. Greenwood 41 and Little Rock Hall 6. Final.
So Hall got on the board.
Hall got
late in that one. Got an El Dorado Lake Hamilton update?
Second down and 14.
Penalty moves it back to the 27. It's second down and 14 for the Panthers following the holding penalty. There goes Garrett Body in motion, and they give it to Garrett. Zach Wallace trying to block for him on the edge, and Russellville's going to run him out of bounds. Jason Collins runs him out of bounds at the 24-yard line, and it'll be third down and 11.
Yeah, nice run by Body there, especially turning the corner. Don't have a current score. Still 21-0 according to Fielders Friday.
Yeah, and delays all over the state with the weather going on. That game could be in a delay. We don't know. El Dorado led Lake Hamilton 21-0 at last check. Zach Wallace is going to carry on third down and 11. Zach going to carry it down to the 23-yard line. That's going to leave Benton with fourth down and 10. And the clock at 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the ball game.
Well, you think they'll go deep this time or just try to get the first down?
Panthers have had good luck on fourth down tonight running the football. We'll see what Brad Harris and Justin Ray elect to do. Remember, this drive started way back on inside the 1 yard line. Benton's moved from the shadow of their own end zone all the way down to the Russellville 22. On 4th and 10, Panthers going to set up the throwback screen to Gavin Wells, and the pass a little bit high. It's incomplete, and Russellville will take over the football.
Well, he let him a little bit too much that time, and You would hope that the Panthers could convert, but boy, they chewed off a lot of the clock there, Jim. And with 4 minutes to go, it looks like the Panthers have everything in hand.
Chewed up a lot of clock and a lot of yardage. And, man, poor Dio and Grace down there getting rained on again. It's just been a really tough night. We appreciate you guys down there on the sideline tonight very much.
Well, I appreciate that, Jim, and I'm sure Grace would echo that sentiment. It's been, thankfully we have not had any lightning delays, and this has not been a delayed game that's taken several hours, and we've had to wait, and at least we're going to get out of here before 10 o'clock. So there's that.
As the give off to Cade England, Braden Whitford is checked in at quarterback, and Hayden Purdy, our sophomore, had a great game last week against Cabot and on his first tackle tonight on defense for the Panthers.
Well, one of these days when Grace is a sideline ESPN reporter, she'll talk about this game.
The night she held the umbrella for Dio. 2nd down and 11 as Whitford is going to roll out and throw under pressure. And his throw is incomplete. It just, I have to do a double take with number 40 back there at quarterback right now for Russellville.
3rd down.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. It'll be 3rd down and 11 following the incompletion. Whitford, a 5'10 sophomore.
Well, kudos to Coach Weaver for making that call. His quarterback's taking a beating tonight.
Whitford going to drop back. Boy, he throws a beautiful spiral as going up trying to make a leaping catch was Grant Smith. And it's incomplete. Cade Clark and Cameron Ross in coverage for Benton.
Yeah, Cade was about a step behind, and he had another step. He could have had a shot at that one. As it turns out, the Panthers got a good 4th down, and we'll get the ball back.
4th down and 11, and Russellville lining up as if they're going to go for it, and they got the Panthers to jump as Whitford with the hard count. Benton jumps offside, and now it'll be 4th down and 6. And, boy, you can see Bobby Wynn barking at his defensive line across the way. Panthers coaching to the very end tonight.
Well, absolutely. You never want your team to take their intensity off of the field, even when you're up of several scores.
So now it's 4th down and 6 as Whitford looks to the sideline. Will they go for it? Will they kick it? So Whitford gives instructions to his line. He moves England up. He's going to bring a man in motion, and it's going to be an attempt at the 1st down that is going to be absolutely foiled by the Benton defense. They went to the jet sweep again. And, boy, Terry, the Benton defense just waiting on the edge for Grant Smith to arrive. Kelby Caffrey, Kyvan Carroll again on the tackle.
So you're running the jet sweep, which you've been running all night, and you're running it on 4th down at Kelby Caffrey, who's having a monster game. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it didn't work. It's going to be 1st down and 10 Benton at the Russellville 25-yard line with 3:03 to go, and we see Garrett Brown check back in. Boy, he's been in for 1 snap tonight, and it was an 82-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Body. He gives off to DeAnthony Harper, and DeAnthony's going to pick up a yard on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and as that clock continues to tick, I don't expect Garrett to have an opportunity to mess up his stat for the night.
Also in on the play.
Hey, 1 for 1 for 82 yards and a touchdown. That's about as good as it gets. As Hayden Ashley is checked in on the offensive line. He's the right tackle here on 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers. Now Brown's going to throw. And he throws out to Garrett Body. Garrett makes a man miss, gets a block on the edge from DeAnthony, and Garrett going to be run out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Boy, Terry, that kind of surprised us, and Garrett almost took it to the house again.
Yeah, he's so quick and gives us so many different options with that offense of having a weapon like him. And boy, he makes a couple of guys miss and gets an open field. He's dangerous, Jim.
The Brown to body combination has been potent tonight as Montario Mack checks in the Panther backfield. Montario gets the carry running left, and he's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and goal, Panthers at the Cyclone 10.
Well, it's good to see him get a little time in as well, but unfortunately there was no place to run that time, Jim.
Colin Yandell is in there, Braden Hendricks in, Garrett Davis is checked in on the offensive line. Couple of seniors, John Miller and Michael Lunsford, in at wide receiver on 2nd down and goal for Benton. Clock at 1:40 to go. And the snap dropped by Garrett Brown, and Garrett going to fall on it at the 14-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and goal.
Hey, man, I just love seeing young guys make good decisions. Dropped the football that time, ball's on the ground, didn't try to be a hero, just jumped on it. That's a good decision.
Heady little sophomore quarterback, Garrett Brown. It'll be 3rd down and goal, Panthers. At the 14-yard line, as the clock nearing a minute to go in this one, Benton leads 27-0. The Panthers will get their first win in conference play in tonight's conference opener here at Russellville. As a give off to Braden Hendricks, and Braden going to fight his way down to the 11-yard line where it will be 4th and goal.
Well, the Panthers just trying to run that clock out at this point.
They mark it ready for play, about a 14-second difference between game clock and snap clock.
4th down and goal.
Panthers in absolutely no hurry to snap this one. As the clock ticks down under 20 seconds to go. 4th down and goal, Benton. As Mack and Hendricks in the backfield, they're going to give it to Hendricks running right. Hendricks slips a tackle and now going to run into a wall of Cyclones at the 5-yard line. And that's where the Benton drive will finish with 6 seconds to go. 27-0. Benton is going to win this one as all the Russellville fans gathering up their umbrellas and their rain gear and making their way out of the bleachers. A small contingent but faithful contingent across the way of Benton folks still in the bleachers with the cheerleaders across the way, getting ready to celebrate a Benton win tonight here at Russellville.
Hey, I'm just glad that I didn't make the deal with Bobby Wynn to buy pizza for a shutout.
I was going to say, you and I going to go in on that? And I mean, shutouts are pizza parties for the defense, right?
I think we should.
There's the shutout as Espinoza got the carry on the final play of the ball game. Trey Dubrava and Jake Self in on the tackle for the Benton defense, and it is a shutout tonight for the Benton Panthers. Benton defeats Russellville tonight 27-0 in the 6A West Conference opener here at Cyclone Stadium. We will pause and come back with our Bethel Smiles Dentistry postgame show. We'll have our Cornerstone Home Lending MVPs when we come back. Benton wins it tonight over Russellville 27-0. This is Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6.
At Farmers Bank and Trust, our commitment is and always will be to the community. Our loan officers are your supporters, your cheerleaders, your fans, your neighbors. And we're proud to cheer on our Benton Panthers. For more information on Farmers Bank and Trust, stop by our conveniently located office or visit myfarmers.bank.
Hamilton Family Dentistry, dental care that grows with you. We're family owned and are ready to provide dental care for your family. From your newborn baby to your great-grandparents, we see them all. Give us a call at 653-2422 or come visit us at 2422 Spring Hill Road.
Hi, this is Kim Hamer, candidate for State Senate District 33, which encompasses the majority of Saline County. We'd like to congratulate the Benton Panthers on their decisive win over the Cabot Panthers last week. A special shout out to Zach Wallace, who had an 89-yard touchdown return, and I think that exemplifies when you have desire and you have drive, it determines your destiny. I would like to congratulate the Benton Panthers again. Look forward to another victory this week as we go to Russellville to defeat the Russellville Cyclones. Go Panthers.
Hello, Panther fans. This is Jerry Ponder, candidate for Benton Mayor. I'm asking for your vote and support in the upcoming election on November 6th. I've had the privilege of serving on the Benton City Council for the past 12 years. I believe that my knowledge and experience provide a valuable asset to our city as we continue to move forward. Our city has wonderful schools, parks, and provides a safe environment for families. Thank you for your support and vote. Go Panthers! Paid for by the Jerry Ponder Campaign Committee.
Jones Heating and Air, located at 520 Edison Avenue in Benton, specializes in residential, commercial, and new construction HVAC systems and offers 24-hour service. Jones is a proud supporter of Benton Panther Athletics, the Saline County Boys and Girls Club, and youth sports at Benton's Riverside Park. Find out more at jonesheatingandair.com or call 501-778-3324.
At Russellville, boy, it has not been a comfortable night. It hasn't been a pretty night weather-wise. But, Terry, that scoreboard sure is pretty. 27-0, Benton defeats Russellville tonight.
Well, you never get tired of seeing a shutout. You never get tired of seeing a Panther victory. That's a great performance by the Benton Panther football team. And I'll tell you what, Jim, you said it all night. That Panther defense is showing a little shades of 2014, which it was one of the best Panther defenses I've seen.
So we go down to Dio with Brad Harris.
Well, Brad, you got to be pretty pleased with that offensive performance. Third week in a row, over 500 yards out of the offense, 400 of that on the ground, and even with these conditions, still able to get over 100 in the air. I mean, tell us how you feel about this first conference win.
Well, it's a great feeling to have a win. You know, we feel like we kind of sputtered it on offense a little bit until you tell me that, but we just couldn't get in the end zone. We got down inside the red zone. They did a good job of keeping us out, but we made a lot of mistakes, and weather had a lot to do with it. You know, a lot to do with it. We really wanted to come in and be a lot more balanced this game, and we'd worked a lot this week at throwing the football around, and then you get this, and Colin just had a hard time holding on to the football. You know, it is what it is. All right, we survived. We got a win. We're 1-0 in conference play, and that's the most important thing.
Well, you say survive, but your defense pitches a shutout. So, I mean, it was a little bit more than a survival. It was a little more dominating performance. Tell us what you think about the defense.
Well, I'm real proud. Anytime you get a shutout, it's awesome, you know, and that's what we talked about this week is we felt like we had a chance against these guys if we can contain the quarterback, and they did a good job with that throughout the game and everything. The second half, they had a couple of instances down here. Proud to see those guys step up on 4th and goal right there and keep that shutout intact. A lot of pride right there, you know, and that's what it's about. And you don't get an opportunity to throw a shutout very often, so when you get a chance, you want to make good on it.
Yeah, heck of a game, really fun to watch, and in spite of these conditions, fantastic performance. Good job, Coach. Yeah, go ring yourself out now. Hey, we got time, guys. We got our cornerstone Homeland MVP, offensive MVP of the game, second week in a row, Zach Wallace. Zach, second week over 200 yards rushing, 242 on the ground, 3 touchdowns, another massive performance. I mean, with the conditions, just getting your first conference win, tell us what's going through your head right now.
Well, really, I'm just proud we came through as a team. You know, there wasn't really much we could do on offense, and Coach told me and DeAnthony before the game we're going to have to ground and pound, so there's nothing I could do about it. You know, I had to get tough. But, yeah, I'm just super happy. First conference win, you know, step to 14. We're going for the state championship. So
how about that offensive line blocking for you? Jensen White laying some pancakes over there a couple times we saw. What do you think about those guys?
You know, I love them to death, but I told them before the game, you know, it's all us tonight. You know, receivers got, you know, a little bit of love. But, yeah, I'm thankful for them. You know, they had it just as bad as we did. They're run blocking all night, so I love them.
Good job, buddy. Good job. All right, Kelby, get over here. All right, Kelby Caffrey, our defensive MVP. Kelby, heck of a game, man. We were calling your name all night long. Interceptions, just vicious hits. Tell us what's going through your head out there. When you see the ball carrier, what are you thinking about?
I just got to hit him, play hard. Just got to get him. If I don't get him, you know, maybe my teammates won't get him. Yeah, I just got to get him before they do.
Well, it's a fantastic performance by you. I don't know. Do we have the stats guys up there on how many tackles Kelby had tonight?
We don't, but I'm guessing he's going to be around the 15 mark.
He's got somewhere around the 15 mark is what we're thinking. But fantastic game tonight. But pitching the shutout as a defense, tell us what you think about this unit.
We've been preaching a shutout for the longest against, especially our first game in the conference game. Preaching for a shutout. We finally got the good win in our conference game. So now, step 2, here we come.
Well, we're going to step up. Cornerstone's going to step up and provide the defense with a pizza party, I think, this Tuesday for you guys. So celebrate the pizza party. Good job getting the defensive MVP, man. All right, back to you guys.
Well, and while we're talking about MVPs, MVP to Freddie and Dio and Grace tonight, gutting it out on the sideline in that weather.
Absolutely. Good job, Dio.
Well, thank you guys. Hey, I love football, love supporting this program, and they're really fun to watch. So, getting wet for these guys.
Russellville snapped the football, Terry, 4 times more than Benton did tonight. 69 snaps for Russellville, 65 for Benton. Russellville, though, tallies 191 total yards. Benton, 519. That is 3 weeks in a row over 500 yards. And Brad Harris's initial impression was we sputtered on offense.
Well, you know, when we were a little bit into preseason, we were talking to the coaching staff. And one of the things that I said, Justin Ray was poor-mouthing a little bit like all coaches do preseason. I said, you know, with all of the weapons that you're going to have, you're going to be a little fun to watch. And he had a little sheepish grin, so you kind of think that he knew what he was going to have this year. He just knew that they were going to have to execute, and boy, are they doing that. And the same thing with the defense. We've all thought that this defense had a chance of being extremely special, and they are certainly playing special right now, certainly with the last 2 games.
Bethel Smiles. How fitting is that? Because a lot of smiles tonight in the Panther post game here on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6. Some individual numbers. Zach Wallace, 242 yards rushing tonight, 3 touchdowns for the senior. But how about D-Buddy over 100 again? 10 carries, 114 yards.
Man, it's McFadden and Jones again, isn't it?
It is.
That's
a good comparison.
Anthony Harper is really a special player, and to have him playing so well this year really gives this offense a lot of confidence, I think, and he's just fun to watch. Panthers
just 2 of 6 in the red zone. I think that was one thing Brad talked about needing to clean up a little bit in the forthcoming weeks.
Yeah, probably so, because I think if we execute, there's probably another 20 points on the board.
Defensively, though, boy, Russellville ran it 47 times for just 134 yards, and the Panther defense limited Russellville to just 6 of 22 passing for 57 yards.
Wow. That's tough defense right there. Not to mention the turnovers.
Yeah. Picked off a pass and recovered a fumble tonight defensively. Held Russellville to 5 of 15 on 3rd down. So, boy, just a really good win tonight on the road over Russellville to open 6A West Conference play. Benton wins it tonight 27-0. We appreciate so much Bethel Smiles sponsoring our post-game show. Thank you, Dr. Justin. A lot of smiles tonight here in the press box, and I know a lot of smiles back home in Benton for the way the Panthers played. Our next broadcast of Benton Panther football on 106.7 The Ride and Fidelity Local 6 will be next Friday night on what promises to be a night we will all remember, as our buddy John Penn gets to do something very, very special next week, doesn't he, Terry?
That's right. He sure does. Well, that beautiful daughter of his and our homecoming queen, and so John gets to escort his lovely daughter out on the 50-yard line.
Maybe John stayed home tonight so he could press his shirt for next Friday.
He'll need a U-Haul to carry all of those memories.
I'm going to tell you, it's very, very special next week for John and Marla and Abby, and we look forward to celebrating with them. Siloam Springs, though, will be the opponent, and Siloam will come in upbeat. They will be 3-1
as
they defeated Sheridan tonight 24-14. For Terry Benham and Dio Vanucci, for Matt Johnson, who did an outstanding job setting up today and producing and directing in really
very
difficult weather. No
That's right.
question. Joanna Dixon was here tonight to help as a production assistant. Really appreciate Grace Bowling and all her help on the sideline tonight. Great job, Michael Gober and Marcus Robinson behind the cameras. I want to remind you that DVD copies of every Benton Panther game this year are available for $15 and can be purchased online at Fidelity Local 6. Want to give a very special thank you to Laura Pagay, the Director of Sales for the Benton Panther Football Network, to Steve Johnson and Leslie Griffin from Signal Media, and to Benton Athletic Director Scott Nethery, who helps us all season long, and to the number one fan of the Benton Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt, who got soaking wet on the sideline tonight supporting the Benton Panthers. This is Jim Gardner. Thank you for joining us again tonight for Benton Panther football. Again, tonight's final score, Benton 27, Russellville 0. Until next Friday night when we greet you for homecoming, good night, God bless, and go Benton.